about.
You say something has to change. What, in your opinion, needs to change?
I think one of them's got to go.
You think it's that bad?
Yeah. It's that bad. I mean, you could just see, like, everything, like, he's taken off Pogba today. That's going to be made a story of. I mean, everyone was probably watching their reaction as they came off the pitch. Was there going to be a handshake or something?
Yeah, because we were, weren't we?
Yeah, exactly. So I just think that there's so many things going on that just they're not needed at the moment. So I think if it gets to January and it's still the same, then I think one of them's going to have to go. And I think if it's January, it's going to be Pogba.
Temps, you want questions about this issue, don't you?
I have a question, actually, from Ivan, who says, how long do you think Jose Mourinho has left at Manchester United?
Ooh, great name, that, Ivan.
We get Joel in for this. Joel, as an Arsenal fan, I want to get your take on this.
Well, first
and answer this question.
First of all, I'm smiling, obviously. Secondly, you know, it's funny because I was talking to a few of my friends. I was asking the same question. How long has he got? Is it January? Is it end of the season? A lot of people are saying to the end of the season, but if you keep losing games like this, like, it's painful, man. It's October. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've still got a long time to go. I reckon it'll be by Christmas, man. I just...
Do you think?
Yeah, because I can't see... Go on. No, okay, yeah. You got to remember that. Man United fans, yeah, they're stuck up, man. Do you know what I mean? You guys watching, you guys expect victory, you expect good things. It's not... It's not
his mate.
No, it's the
Cheeky
truth.
Sport Dave.
Yeah. It's the truth.
Cheeky Sport Dave is watching.
He's not talking to me at the moment, mate.
He's not.
Offering him orange juice and he was like, nah, mate. He really doesn't want to talk about it, and I can understand why.
Trouble in
But yeah, boy, that's his problem, not mine. but yeah, honestly, I say January because this can't carry on.
January.
I think he'll go to the end of the season, but I think they'll sack him at the end of the season. But I think if it carries on, I think he'll walk.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll walk before the end of the season. I can't see them sacking him before Christmas just because they're still right in the middle of the Champions League and it's a funny time. But if it carries on to the end of the season, I think they'll sack him. But if it continues, I think he'll walk before then. I think
watch this space and get your questions into Adam Temple. We want to know what you think. And United fans, who would you rather keep, Pogba, Mourinho? Get your questions in and your opinions to us in the comments section. Right, our feature game, our first of two feature games, is Arsenal against Watford. Big game this. Two teams that have started fairly well this season. These are the teams. The team news are in. This is the Arsenal team. Joel, we'll get your opinions on this very shortly. Check at the back. Bellerin holding Mustafi, Monreal, Torreira and Xhaka, the two DMs that Emery has gone with. Then Ozil, Ramsey, Aubameyang and Lacazette. Joel, he goes with Aubameyang and Lacazette once again. Most Arsenal fans we speak to seem happy and want Arsenal to play with both of them. Are you one of those Arsenal fans?
Have you seen them on social media? Of course, man. These guys are getting on and you can see that the relationship off the field is helping them on the field. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm confident. Loads of goals. Excellent pre-season. Come on, you Gunners.
Darren, thoughts on the Arsenal team there? Any surprises for you, or does it pick itself at the minute, the Arsenal team?
Yeah, the holding one's a bit of a surprise to me, but no, the rest of the team, yeah, strong. I mean, Aaron Ramsey, another big game for him. I mean, obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan as well, by the way, if I didn't know. I'd like him to stay. There's no bones about it. He scores big goals in big games, always looks a threat.
Yeah.
So this is another opportunity for him to go out there, hopefully get some goals and try and earn that contract. I mean, I think he's earned it already, but it'd be nice to see him do well today.
Yeah, well, let's see who they're up against. This is the Watford side. Foster in goal, Navarro, Craig Cathcart, Kabasele, Holebas, and then a 4-4-2, as we've seen many times this season. Will Hughes, Decore, Etienne Capoue, Pereira, and then they've gone with Gray and Deeney, as they usually do, up top. 4-4-2. You know what you're getting with Watford, Darren, don't you? It's how they've been playing all season. Where are the dangers for Arsenal? Where do they need to be careful?
Just them front two.
The front two?
Yeah, I think the front two. I mean, fair, Decore as well from midfield, he gets into the box. But them front two cause so many problems because they're both... Like, well, Andre Gray is really quick, but they're both really strong as well. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be the perfect pass to them because they're both strong. They fight, and they battle together, and they work really well together. And to be fair, as a partnership, they're arguably probably the best partnership in the Premier League as a two. Ooh. Because you look at Arsenal's formation, Lacazette's left or Aubameyang's left.
Darren, bold.
Do you know what I mean? They're not actually a pair where these two play together.
They're players of two.
Proper two, yeah.
And that man there, Troy Deeney, scored 2 goals in his last 3 appearances against Arsenal, and he's a 12-1 price boost to score first today with our friends at Sky Bet. Joe, as an Arsenal fan, and be honest, I know that you're confident you're in, but what areas are you worried about looking at that Watford team?
I'll be honest with you, it's Deeney because I love him off the pitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't wait till he retires because I want to be watching him every week because, you know, he's just got that personality in it. But when you're playing against him, you know he's out here to bully you. Like, you know he's out here to... Yeah. And it's just his demeanour in general. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's been playing, if he hasn't been playing. He doesn't care if you're an international. He's just dangerous, man. And he seems to love playing against Arsenal.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? And he's very vocal after he scores goals and stuff. Yeah, Ramsey, we've got to talk about Aaron Ramsey. Joel, do you want him to stay? Do you think he'll stay? What do you make of the whole Ramsey debacle?
Of course you want him to stay, you know, because he's one of those players where if he's not playing for your team, then you would want to have him in your team. Euro 2016 was a perfect example.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this guy? You know, oh, it's Ramsey, he plays for us. You know what I mean? And I know Man United probably feel the same about Pogba. But for me, you know, the good thing with Emery is this. He's got this team under control, man. So whether you sign or you don't sign, you stay, you go, I'm confident either way. He needs to just do his thing.
Our second feature game, spoilt for choice, you viewers say. 2 feature games. The next one is Huddersfield against the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. These are the teams. First up, Huddersfield Town. We're just trying to work out the formation earlier, weren't we, Darren? It's interesting how they're sort of setting up. But this is the team. Lossell, Zanka, Schindler, Congolo, Durm and Lowe. Then they've got Moy, Hogg, Pritchard and Billing, we think, playing as a diamond with De Poitre up front.
The Christmas tree.
It is the Christmas tree. Darren, areas that Spurs need to be worried about looking at that Huddersfield team?
I think Moy is a good player.
Yeah.
He can cause a problem for his passing. And I think, to be fair, it's not going to be so much Tottenham's problem because I think Huddersfield are going to sit in there and try and make it difficult for Spurs, to be fair, and try and catch them maybe on the counter-attack. Because if you look at that formation, if they go like that, you can see that they feel, obviously, Spurs are strongest going through the middle.
Yeah.
So they've tried to block it up.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be a matter of time. I think you're going to see it's going to be more like an attack v defence where Tottenham are going to keep trying to probe, keep trying to...
Interesting to see if they do play that way. That'll give a lot of width to Trippier and Rose, who love bombing down.
Exactly.
Speaking of those two, let's have a look at the Spurs team. Gazzaniga in goal again, following his heroics in the Carabao Cup against, I was going to say against Milton Keynes Dons, it wasn't. It was against Watford, played at Milton Keynes Dons, of course. They've gone with the back 3, Alderweireld, Sanchez and Vertonghen. Trippier and Rose do start out wide. Dyer and Dembele sit, and it looks like Spurs are playing with the front 3, with Heung-min Son and Lucas Moura either side of Harry Kane. Don't forget Dele Alli and Eriksen both out injured. How big a loss is that for Spurs, Eriksen and Alli not playing?
Yeah, it's massive, especially more so Eriksen, I think, because he's the one who seems to produce the attacks and can see the pass and has been fantastic the last couple of seasons. So, yeah, he's going to be a big miss, but with that front 3, they're dangerous. They can score goals against anybody. These
are the scenes. Kane scored first, you can see, was 9-4, now 11-4. That is a price boost with Sky Bet. Don't forget, you have to be 18+. Those were the scenes at Huddersfield. These are the scenes at the Emirates. Arsenal make just one change from the side that beat Everton last weekend. That is Rob Holding starts at the back in place of Socrates. Watford also make just the one change as Mark Navarro starts at right back, in place of Daryl Janmaat. So that is a... interesting to see how that game goes. Joel is already looking slightly more nervous than he did when he turned up.
The Watford fans there. This is my game face. I'm focused, man.
Wolves, Southampton. Wolves are unchanged for the 7th consecutive Premier League match. Played the same starting 11 for every single match. Mark Hughes makes 3 changes from the side that lost to Liverpool last weekend, including the return of Danny Ings. Of course, he was ineligible last week, and Charlie Austin, who partners Ings in attack. Should be a good game, that one. These are the scenes. Manchester City. Pep Guardiola has named Alexander Zinchenko and David Silva in his starting 11 today in place of Fabian Delph and Ilkay Gundogan. Brighton have also made 2 changes as Beram Kyle and Jurgen Locadia start in place of Dale Stevens and Glenn Murray. I think everyone seems to expect a Man City win for that one, so it'll be interesting to see how Brighton set up for that game. Big game for Brighton in that one. Loads of talking points, Hamill. Your games haven't kicked off yet. You're expecting a lot of goals, I presume.
They haven't. Yes. I mean, there's a lot of forward-thinking sides playing one another today, isn't there? Everton and Fulham both haven't defended very well at the start of this season. City and Brighton. Brighton play quite expansive football for a team that are normally down there. And Newcastle, like I've said, not as solid as season's gone by, but not as good up front either, so not got a lot going for them right now.
Well said, Havel.
Leicester, again, their strength is in the final third. I think the young lad arriving from Norwich has been a revelation this season. And Wolves versus Southampton. Southampton have struggled up front, haven't they? If they hadn't signed Danny Ings, I think they would have been done for, but Dings to the rescue, so yeah. Goals in.
And these are the scenes at St James's Park. Newcastle had 3 changes to the side that drew 0-0 at Palace last weekend. Kieran Clark, Christian Atsu and Hosselu returned to the side. Claude Puel welcome back captain Wes Morgan to the side, as well as handing a starting place to Ricardo. And we did just before that see scenes at Goodison Park. Everton name an unchanged side to the one that lost at the Emirates last weekend. Fulham make 4 changes to the side that drew at home to Watford. Ream, Brian and Guisa are all handed a starting place as long as the door is. So a lot of changes for Fulham. James Maddison, that man. What start to season he's had, by the way? We've got to talk about James Maddison. He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
He has. He's been the fulcrum of that Leicester side.
in the absence of Riyad Mahrez, they needed to bring in a really creative player with good output, and he's not even taken long to assimilate. You know, he's been Leicester's biggest goal threat. Jamie Vardy, of course, suspended for 3 games, which didn't back now, but a really promising player and looks like an absolute snip now at 22, 23. So I'm looking forward to seeing big things from him. Yeah. Darren, Leicester, my hometown club. I'm a Celtic fan, so if you wonder why, you know, I'm laying into Newcastle, that's the reason I have a vested interest in seeing Leicester succeed.
We do have to go to social media. Temps had some great questions last week. What are people talking about?
People are asking about Ramsey. So, obviously, he has rejected a new contract. And contract talks are over, apparently. This is what the reports are. Where should he go is what Nathan is asking. What club?
Joel, you seem very animated here.
Do you want him to go? Because
I'm just saying, I knew it. I know that Unai isn't here to mess around, mate. You either want to do the thing or you don't want to do the thing. That's whatever that thing is.
They're the best.
It's probably £150,000 a week.
They're the best managers.
They're the best managers.
They're the best managers, I think.
Why do you say that?
Because if a player's like flitting around and not wanting to sign a contract, not enough money, I prefer managers to go, OK, we'll go and find somewhere else. I need to move on without you. You can't, like, this whole Mourinho Pogba thing, you can't get into a similar situation with Ramsey where one player seems to be holding up the club moving forward in some respects. So if he wants to get rid of him, then he's got to let him go.
Where do you think he should go? Or where do you think he'd fit in?
I was having this discussion yesterday with someone. I can't see...
I can't imagine him anywhere else.
But that also, I can't see him at Chelsea, can't see him at United.
No.
Manchester City don't need him. No. Liverpool, he's never going to get in that midfield.
Definitely not.
So where does he go? Everything else other than that is going to be a step down. Well, he's not going to go to Tottenham.
He's been linked to, like, AC Milan and Juventus, hasn't he?
Really?
Maybe, yeah.
AC Milan with...
Foreign might be better.
Gazidis might bring him over.
I've always said I can see him at Chelsea, you know. I can see him in the Chelsea squad, man. Because when you look at what they've got, I'm not really convinced that, you know, I mean, yeah, they're doing well, but I reckon he could fit in there somehow. And they love to have, like, players. I'm not saying he would start, but they love to have surplus players hanging around, so...
Meets their quota, don't it?
He strikes me as a very Juventus-type signing in the way that they snapped up Emre Can on a free, and they'll get the most out of him. They could do with refreshing that final third. Cristiano Ronaldo obviously turning 34 in February, and Sami Khedira, kind of his body's falling apart, which is a shame because he used to be a magnificent box-to-box player, but he would offset a lot of their kind of general decline in midfield. So I think that'd be smart business from the Bianconeri.
Right, all of our games are underway.
Hello, Everton on the attack.
Chance for Everton.
Oh, narrowly wide there.
What happened?
Come on, Sigurdsson, elusive as always on the edge of the box. Almost sneaked in there. Fulham have been readily exposed on the counter, haven't they, throughout the course of this season, the start of the season, in fact. Sigurdsson falling on his bum there, putting it narrowly wide. I say narrowly. Could have put an ice cream van through there, but...
What's going on at Arsenal?
Chance at Watford, Joel? What happened there?
Man, you know what? It was a corner, but, you know, I'm convinced that the goalkeeper was fouled on both occasions.
Here's the replay.
Look at that. Troy Deeney bullying us again. Look at him. Get your shoulder off check, man.
Watford started quite brightly, Joel. They've had a couple of corners. They've started quite aggressively in this game.
Well, they just happen to have the ball in our half, so if you want to call it...
You're dumbing it down, aren't you? You're very confident.
But, you know, it's 3 minutes in, mate, do you know what I mean? Like, we'll be
I've got a feeling he might be calling you on them throughout the whole... to be honest.
You're not worried at all?
Nah,
You're a very confident Arsenal fan, but they're on the attack again, Joel.
Oh, my God.
They're on the attack, Chance for Watford.
Yeah, but
easy to deal with.
goalkeeper was always going to get that, wasn't he? To be fair.
Darren, Huddersfield Spurs. How have Spurs started in that one?
Quite slow, but Huddersfield have come out really aggressive. Like, they're putting the challenges in, they're getting tight, they're getting up the field, they're all snapping at Spurs players' heels, nicking it again, whack again. They're playing really well, Huddersfield. They've come out the blocks really, really fast. And I think this is how they were going to have to approach the game, because if they let Spurs settle, then they're going to be in trouble. But no, they've started off really well.
This was a very comfortable result for Spurs last season, wasn't it?
Oh, I think Harry Kane got 2 off in about 15 minutes.
And they started slow, Huddersfield. So you think that's why maybe they're changing the format, changing it a bit this time around, because they saw the damage that Harry Kane did?
Again, obviously, thinking about last season and not wanting that to happen again.
Yeah, social media. Yes. Some good questions so far. Whilst it's 0-0 before the goals come flooding in, what other questions have you got?
I'm heavily distracted by the Arsenal game, but I've got a question.
When did he go down?
Joel, let's go to you. Joel, what happened in the Arsenal game?
Well, somehow, right, Lacazette stayed on his feet when I thought he could have rightfully went down.
Yeah.
Because we love to be fair here. Rightfully went down. But he stayed up and he tried to get it from an impossible angle, and And we've had a chance that's just gone wasted, to be honest with you.
He should have gone down.
Darren, is that a penalty? If he goes down, is that a penalty?
Of course.
It's not even about him diving.
He's too honest.
It's too honest.
Yeah, he's way too honest.
It's not even about diving. It's a foul. Bang there.
Yeah, it does look like a penalty. The replays do like a penalty. Question for you, though. Do you think the ref has not given that because he didn't go down?
Yep. Yeah, played on. Played on.
Look, he just
a lot of film, but slight penalty put earlier on in the Spurs game, apparently, but Huddersfield
Neves on a free kick here, Smith.
now. Let's go to Hammer. What's happening in your games, mate?
Oh, Neves. I was expecting that to go top bins, but it's trickled wide after coming off the wall. But it looks like Sessegnon may be injured. A Fulham player has gone down with what appears to be a shoulder injury, and that'd be a real shame because he's had to rotate with Vietto. He's been blooded in at the start of this season, hasn't he? And he's not got a lot of game time. I think we're all very excited to see him.
Yeah.
But no, someone from Everton, an absolute bruiser, has I think gone shoulder to shoulder, and he's come out the worst.
Yeah,
but
that'd be a shame.
Man City battering Brighton, by the way, at the start of this game, as we've kind of come to expect, and I don't think much of Knockout's highlights either, to be honest.
Really good round-up, Hamill. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much, pal.
Chance for Huddersfield, Darren.
Yeah, free kick more. You know. Oh no.
What was that?
Terrible.
That was not the greatest free kick I've ever seen, was it?
Terrible. Hit the wall. And he's got better quality. Well, it wasn't Moy, to be fair. He's got good quality.
But the danger's not been cleared yet. Still with Huddersfield. Spurs look like they're under the cosh a little bit here. You're right. Huddersfield started quite aggressively.
Really aggressively. They're up the pitch really high and they've done really well. But this is the way they're going to have to play against Spurs because if they let Spurs settle down, they're going to be in trouble.
Joel, chance for Watford, half chance.
I don't know.
Quite an open game, isn't it, that game?
Well, now I want to agree with you. Like, it seems like they're having a bit of joy in our
Thank you.
Like, they really are. Like, do you know what I mean? I was going to start cheering for Huddersfield, but I'm trying to focus on our own. It's very end-to-end. Like, I'm really surprised.
Very open game, that. Interestingly, Gareth Southgate, of all the games, is at Newcastle-Leicester, Hamill.
He is.
So
why not? Eyes on James Maddison, because England are missing a number 10, aren't they?
It's true.
Dele Alli more of a second striker these days.
It's Damari playing Gray.
Damari Gray.
He's injured, I believe, isn't he?
Do you know what? I actually don't... He's not having the best time of it in the Leicester side. I think he's only been involved with, like, 3 goals in the last 20-plus appearances. I want only good things for him, because I thought at one point he was going to be a hell of a player, but...
Talk us through this. Chance for Tottenham. And what are they're appealing for a penalty here?
It looked like fullback to fullback, to be fair. It looked like Trippier got the ball wide. Was it Trippier? Yeah, Trippier crosses it into the far fullback, which is Danny Rose.
Brilliant cross.
Brilliant. He's got to hit the target there.
Trippier whips in. It's a lovely ball from Trips.
Oh, man.
Danny Rose. Should Danny Rose score from here, do you think?
He's got to hit the target. He's appealing for something.
He's definitely appealing for something. Danny Rose, I think, is appealing that there was a push on him as the contact was made. Great ball from Kieran Trippier, straight to Danny Rose. Must be 8 yards out, and he's headed it narrowly wide. Update on Ryan Sessegnon, Hamill. Is he off or is he carrying on?
I'm trying to clarify if it is Sessegnon, because it could be Fosu Mensah. There is a crowd of players shielding whoever's just come off. I think it was Timothy Fosu Mensah in the end. However, Leicester just putting it narrowly over there against Newcastle. Wilfred Ndidi, combative midfielder, putting it straight over, not known for his goal scoring, displaying it there, but a rare attack from Brighton as well, Smithy. And Ruben Neves over a couple of free kicks, ominous for Southampton.
Big fan of Ruben Neves. It is a hard role that you've got there. I'm just looking at it now. There's so much going on.
I was saying the same thing. I was looking over there thinking, how's he doing that?
Also, no graphics on screen, I'd like to point out. So, pretty much guessing at thumbnail-sized players. But I wanted to ask you, Tottenham boys, do you think Kieran Trippier, a bit of a defensive liability down that right-hand side, will they be targeting him? Because good going forward, but not convinced. There's an out right back.
Chance, as you said, that was a chance for Huddersfield. The question, is he a liability at the back, do you think? You think because he attacks...
Yeah, because your defence hasn't looked as solid at the start of this season as it did last season. Watertight when you had a back 3. But I wonder, I kind of see a pattern reoccurring down opposition's left-hand side when Trippier's kind of left up the pitch.
The one thing I'll say is it's interesting that Poch has rotated. We've sometimes played as a back 2 and sometimes played as a back 3. I do think that Trippier and Rose are better suited when we play as a back 3, because when you've got all 3 of Vertonghen, Sanchez and Alderweireld, he does have more licence to go forward because there's 3 of them there. And there's no doubt for me, Kieran Trippier's, I don't know if you agree, but his best asset is crossing the ball and going forward.
Yeah, balls, yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a liability, but I think he's had a fantastic World Cup and brilliant season last season. But, yeah, I know where you're coming from. I think his best assets are going forward, so... Interesting to see how Huddersfield attack that. And to be fair, Darren, Huddersfield look like they've started quite well in this game.
They have started really, honestly, they've been on the front foot, they're getting the tackles in, they're creating chances, and to be fair, they've really surprised me because I thought Huddersfield this season have been poor, especially going forward and retaining the ball, they've been terrible. But this first half here, they've all rolled their sleeves up, they're putting the challenges in.
Awful tackle there from Knockaert, by the way, Smith. You must have heard what I said about his lip.
Chance. Kane to score the first goal, 11-4 with Sky Bet. Oh, and he just had a one-on-one. It's been saved.
That's quality work from you sneaking that in before the shot's been taken. That is expertise.
Just to remind you, there is a price boost on your screen right now, courtesy of our friends at Sky Bet. Kane to score first goal is at 11-4. He's just had a one-on-one miss. Don't forget, you have to be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. Don't forget, Harry Kane was prolific in this fixture last season. Spurs won home and away against Huddersfield last season. Darren, talk us through this chance that Harry Kane missed.
I wonder if he could have squared it. I mean, the defender's done really well to now. Could he square it?
Tight angle, wasn't it?
It's a tight angle, but to be fair, you think of Harry Kane, you think it's a goal.
Darren Bent in his prime, do you expect that to go in?
Yeah. Looking at it there, he could have squared it, but listen, it's Harry Kane, mate. He's going to finish it 9 times out of 10.
Hamill, still 0-0 in all of our games so far.
It is. We've had 2 half chances. The Newcastle stopper just putting one narrowly, putting it out for a corner there. But I've got to say, spending most of our time here in the middle third, Mitrovic there putting himself about a little bit. Like I said, nasty tackle from Knockaert, almost putting Zinchenko out. But apart from that, a bit attritional.
Joel, chance for Watford in your game?
Yeah, you know what? They've had the ball a lot for an away team. You just saw a chance there by Hughes. It went wide.
Yeah.
I've seen Czech's distribution. It hasn't actually been that great so far.
He was your man of the match in the last game, though.
But yeah, no.
He was a good player.
Fair enough. But right about now, I'm not really confident as, but it's the start of the game.
That's what I said. You started confident, but Watford are playing quite well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just pressure because it's a new era for us. So we're not really used to a cycle yet, if that makes sense. We don't know how it feels to continuously win or continuously lose. So I'm still on edge.
Thoughts on Emery as an Arsenal fan?
I love him in terms of he's straight. You know what I mean? I think the contract example is perfect. That's how he is. Look, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. I was having a chat with Bellerin 2 nights ago, and he was saying he came back from... Yeah. Definite name drop, mate. That's as close as it gets. Next week, I'm going to be name-dropping Darren Bent. Like, yeah, you know, I'm Darren Bent. And literally, he said, pre-season, they came in, this is what's going to happen. If you don't like it... Lump it, jog on.
Well, speaking of Arsenal, we hope to be... we'll come to Hamill in a bit. We hope to be speaking to Robbie Lyle from AFTV at half-time. So we'll be giving a call subject to his strength of his signal of his mobile phone. We hope to be speaking to him at half-time. Lots going on. It is 0-0, but lots going on in that Arsenal game so far. Hamill, chance in one of your games?
Schürrle's had possibly the best opportunity of the game, picking up just inside the 18-yard box and absolutely blasting it over. He's been one of the most productive players for Fulham this season. I remember him taking 11 shots against Burnley. 11. They're Ronaldo numbers. What are you doing, Schürrle? However, everything remains 0-0.
There he is.
Yeah, still. Wait, you're a big fan of Schürrle, Darren?
No, I'm talking more. I was looking at Moy. Yeah, such a good player.
Yeah.
Technically brilliant on the ball. Great distribution.
Strength.
Yeah, Spurs struggling to get into this game a little bit. Huddersfield started very well. Whilst it's still 0-0, we can go back to social corner. Temps.
Hi, mate.
What are people talking about? Have you got some questions for us?
Yeah, I've got... Well, we were talking about Czech, so some people are asking, who would you prefer in goal, Leno or Czech?
Ooh. It's a bit hard so far because I haven't seen enough of Leno in the Premier League to be like, oh, definitely Leno or whatever. I just enjoy the fact that there's competition at the moment that I haven't seen at Arsenal for a long time. Whether it be with the goalkeepers, whether it be with the strikers.
I agree.
Right now, I'm happy,
But do you think Czech can play in this system of passing the ball out?
Well,
he hasn't got the hang of it quite yet.
Yeah, but it's been, 6 games? Do you know what I mean? Like, let the guy chill out and... You know what I mean? Learn it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's like getting sacked. I call it, it's like trying to sack someone on their 6th day at work. Like, give him a chance, innit? You know what I mean? Let him do what he has to do.
Fair. That's fair.
And, but if you're going to ask me, at the current moment, I'll go with Czech because Unai's gone with Czech and I don't have my own opinion.
Great ball in there. We almost had a goal in the Everton-Fulham game. Kurt Zouma putting it over, I believe, because he's running away. So I guess it's not a corner.
I completely forgot he was there.
But lovely ball in there from Lucas Digne, I believe.
Oh, man.
And he's put it on an absolute play, and Kurt's straight down the keeper's throat. It was a save in the end. Kurt just obviously not backing himself to stay up for the corner, when I think he should because he's massive.
Good save.
He should be a World Cup winner, he should.
Decent save. Yeah. All of our games still 0-0 at the moment. Temps, what are your thoughts on the The goalkeeping situation.
The goalkeeping
also
situation.
Also an Arsenal fan, another Arsenal fan in the studio today. A lot of Arsenal fans.
Yeah, no, we've got three in the studio today. Again, I'd have to agree with Joel. I'm going to stick with...
Chance for Arsenal!
Arsenal! Oh!
No! Joel, talk us through that.
Lacazette threw in on goal. You know what? I'll tell you this though, right?
Go on.
He, for a small striker, right? He's not like a Michael Owen or someone that you expect to be extremely nippy, right? If there was anybody else, any other small striker, they probably would have dinked it in real quick. To me, I just feel like even though he's running, he's not.
Go round him. The keeper's already on the floor. Go round him. Look, he's running on the floor.
Lacazette is one-on-one with the keeper. The keeper's gone down. Lacazette's tried to dink it and he shanked it wide, one-on-one. Big chance. Joel, look at Unai Emery.
Yeah, he's keeping the positivity.
He's positive, isn't he?
You know what I mean?
He is.
I like that.
Give me some more. Give me some more.
What do you do in that one-on-one situation?
Just keep going. Go round him. Like the keeper's already fallen on the floor.
Man.
Darren, injury in the Spurs game, it looks like, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you what happened. Sorry. I was watching the Arsenal show.
True striker, watching the strike. It looks like it's Jan Vertonghen that's gone down, which is not great for Spurs. Spurs' injury list is mounting up. Obviously, Vorm and Lloris both that injured. Spurs with their third-choice keeper. Got Barcelona on Wednesday. Dele Alli's injured. Eriksen's injured. Obviously, Kane's had a lot of game time as well. And now Jan Vertonghen looks like he's going to be OK. Although every time I say that, it's a commentator's curse, isn't it? Do you think he'll carry on here?
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, if he goes down, it looks like a hammy. So I don't know if he could be able to continue with that.
He's not carrying on the whole game with that.
Price boost on your screen right now on one of our feature games. Tottenham to win 2-0 is now 15-2. Joel, chance for Watford.
Oh! What a stop. Was
That's
that
why
better?
it's our keeper.
Okay, it's a free kick anyway.
Big Pete.
It looked like...
Joel, here's the replay.
Yeah, it looks like... OK, Watford are attacking
They had a lot
really
of space.
fast.
A lot of
Push him
space on
over.
that, right?
Look back.
And he pushed him over. OK, cool. So one of our players, Torreira, went down in the box. Someone pushed him. One of the Watford players pushed him. And
so it wouldn't have counted the ref as
block from Bellerin.
Was it Bellerin?
Great block
Bellerin,
from
yeah.
Bellerin.
Wow.
Yeah, great block from Bellerin, but it wouldn't have counted anyway because the ref has signalled for a free kick for Watford. Very open game at the Emirates.
Yeah, I mean, much more than what we were... I haven't seen such an open game since the West Ham game.
Yeah, that was open, wasn't it? Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Back to social corner attempts.
Yeah.
Any further questions? Just remind the viewers how they can get in touch, the hashtag, the handles, give them all the information they need.
The hashtag is the Football Social. The handles are at Football Daily, at Soccer AM, or in the live chat. My next question is from Riyadh, who says...
Oh, great last man tackle. Carry on, Temps.
Sorry,
Harry Maguire doing what he does best, getting his body in the way.
Go on, Temps.
My question comes from Riyadh. He says, one player from the Championship that you would have in the Premier League, who would it be?
Mason Mount.
Question.
Yeah,
Mason Mount's got a lot of potential. Everyone's talking about him, aren't they?
I watched him in the week against Man United and he was outrageous. He's passing, and even for someone so small, he weren't letting Matic push him off because it would be interesting to see the battle. I wanted to see how he was going to cope against them guys, but he was getting his body in, he was good on the ball. They couldn't get near him when he was moving the ball, so I think he's going to have a massive future. I just hope he doesn't get lost in that whole Chelsea, get into their first team.
Players a lot.
And he was destroying Holland in Vitesse,
exactly,
wasn't he?
so
Player of the season, double digits goals and assists. Really cultured little player, love him.
Yeah.
It's an interesting point you make about Chelsea. The youth team, look at the success of their youth team. It's back-to-back trebles. Every age group seems to win. They've got, particularly when Jody Morris was there, who's obviously now Frank Lampard's number 2 at Derby. But all these great players they bring through their academy, they never make it into the first team. They always loan them out and just seem to want to buy from abroad. But there's a lot of young English talent, particularly at Chelsea, that never seems to make it into the first team. Where do you stand on that?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, you talk about, obviously, people like Tammy Abraham as well. He's there, centre-forward, not going to play for Chelsea probably, because I would like to see him this season. Obviously, he had a great season at Bristol City, did OK at Swansea to a point last season, so I thought this season now, especially with Chelsea's centre-forward problem, Giroud and Morata, I thought he might get an opportunity, but for whatever reason, they're not giving the young kids an opportunity, so it's difficult, and obviously, when you keep loaning them out,
Yeah, not like you at Ipswich, mate. 16 years old. Get in there, Darren. Do the business, Darren, at 16.
I think the game's changing now, though. People want results now. They're not willing to wait anymore.
It's short. I mean, a chance for Spurs. Heung-min Son. Oh, Heung-min Son loves that cutting inside.
Every time you keep saying chance for Spurs, I'm looking for it on the 4 games. No, where is it? Where? Oh, yeah, I'm not watching it.
It's another Watford corner.
Another Watford corner. We'll come to you in a minute, Joel, to talk us through this, but just going over the Spurs chance. Heung-min Son, a lot of space down the right-hand side, cuts it in and bends it very high, very wide. And Trippier looks a bit upset. He hasn't slipped him in there. Tottenham to win 2-0. Again, price boost 15-2. Joel, talk us through this Watford corner, please, in the hope that it leads to a goal.
Give us
a go, someone.
They seem to be attacking. I mean, I'm really surprised that for an away team that they're almost treating this like a home match, to be fair. Couldn't get past the first player. It's, comfortable. But, like I'm saying, we need to take those chances because next thing you know, you'll be looking at the Lacazette chance, you'll be looking at the penalty that we could have had.
As a turning point.
Turning point, and you'll think, hold on a second, because they're still in this game at the moment. Look, and Hughes, so far, Hughes has been the man of the match. He's threading balls left, right and centre. I'm thoroughly impressed.
I don't even have to watch this. You've painted a real vivid picture there, Joel.
Yeah.
That's a job well done, mate.
Round of applause for Joel. Well done, Joel. Still 0-0. Still 0-0. I think once one goal comes in, the rest will come flooded. Any chances in any of your games, Chris Hamill?
They have been few and far between. Southampton have conceded a free kick, though. Ruben Neves standing... Oh, no, João Moutinho standing over it. Neves has had a couple. Now it's Moutinho's go. He's having a pop now, and it's hit the wall. Fantastic. Thank you for that, João. However, Richarlison is carving out some good chances for himself in the Everton-Fulham game. Back to you, Smith.
OK, so no goals in the Premier League. There have been a few goals in the...
Arsenal!
Joel! Pain on the face of an Arsenal fan, Joel. Please describe that in detail.
Oh, man. You know what? It was a great pass by Torreira over to the left. He plays it in, and they whipped the ball into Lacazette. I couldn't see who whipped it into Lacazette, and Lacazette looked like he was just going to get a touch, and again, he fails to score. OK, who was it? OK, so...
Here it is, chance again.
He whipped the ball in.
Nice ball. Darren Bent is loving goals. Pain on his face, describing that. Arsenal. A lot of chances for both teams in that game, so no goals in the Premier League, but there have been some goals in the Championship. Darren, your beloved Derby, 1-0 down at Bolton, unfortunately. Brentford 1, Reading 0, and Swansea 1, QPR 0. So
beloved.
3 goals.
Well, Ipswich, please. What's Ipswich score?
Ipswich is 0-0 at Birmingham.
Thank you.
If I said beloved to every team you played for, we'd be here all day, wouldn't we? On that note, of all the teams you played for, the team that you had the fondest memories of?
Ipswich Town.
Ipswich Town.
Ipswich Town, yeah.
Still not.
OK. Very quick answer.
We almost had a quick-fire double there, Smithy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Go on.
Diarmé putting it wide for Newcastle, and I believe Raul Jimenez putting it on target for Wolves. But Joel's inspired me now. I'm just going to shout the name of the team every time they get near the goal, all right? My guy.
Oh, man.
The early result was, of course, West Ham 3, as we spoke about at the start of the show. Man United 1. Felipe Anderson, Victor Lindelof, Marko Arnautovic for West Ham. Obviously, Lindelof was an own goal. Marcus Rashford did score for Man United. So, Man United fans, get in touch with us. What is going on at Man United? Have we had any Man United-related questions? Any further ones, Temps?
Yeah, we actually have. People are just asking when will he be sacked.
Wait till Sigurdsson takes his free kick, lads, because...
Oh,
no, it's been rubbish yet again. My bad. Should have interrupted. Carry on.
That was terrible. Yeah, everyone's just asking the same thing, when will he be sacked? But we've already covered that. I've got a question for Darren, though. Obviously, you had the fondest memories at Ipswich. I'm an Ipswich local.
Yeah,
I had a season ticket back when you made your debut.
Yeah.
It's just insane. What is your favourite Ipswich Town memory?
Ooh. My favourite memory, I remember being on the bench when we played... do you remember Inter Milan?
I was going to talk about this. Alan Armstrong scoring.
Yeah, header. That game there. I've never seen an atmosphere like it. I mean, we got to get, obviously, a club like Inter Milan to come to Portman Road and get battered by us. Was
that is insane. The prospect of Inter Milan.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking about the proper Inter Milan.
Good Inter Milan. They weren't the rubbish one.
Vieri, Ronaldo, Djokovic, people like that. Yeah,
phenomenal. In East Anglia.
Clarence Seedorf.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beating 1-0.
He's still good, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we took a hiding away 4-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
But by then, I mean, that result there was... That whole season, to be fair, was outrageous.
That was a great season.
Yeah.
And you say great atmosphere. Best atmosphere in your whole career or Ipswich Town?
Ipswich Town, in my whole career.
I was going to say, that would have been some thing.
Yeah, he used to be good in Ipswich. What are you talking
about? Good question, though, Temps. One from yourself as well.
That's from me.
Oh,
That's from me.
Oh, no,
Joel, another corner from Watford in a...
Yeah, it's really end-to-end stuff at the moment.
Mike Ashley smiling in one of the games there.
Yeah, I'm just watching Mike Ashley pick his nose, scratch his chin, contemplating selling the club, apparently, to ex-Chelsea owner. His name escapes me now, Smith. We were talking about this beforehand.
Is it Peter Kenyon?
Peter Kenyon is potentially coming in for Newcastle. I reckon Newcastle fans would probably received that news pretty well.
I agree.
Has he got that kind of money?
Anyone but him.
I don't know. It was talked about today for the first time. He's interested, so I think there's a long process as to whether he will be involved. But interested in murmurs is a good word to use. And as Chris quite rightly says, I think it'd be interesting to see Newcastle's fans get involved in the comments section how you'd think about that. But I know that the relationship with Mike Ashley and the Newcastle fans is not the best, is a nice way of putting it.
At least he looks quite smart today. You know,
he's dressed up, is he?
He's dressed to the nines. So.
Penalty in the Spurs game, Darren?
No,
not given. Got Trippier cross.
It's the first goal of the game. Darren Bent crosses through it. What a cross from Trippier again. I mean, Lucas Moura goes down with the tackle. It's offside.
No!
It's not.
Is it offside or not? I need to know.
It's a goal.
I mean, it was an unbelievable play from Lucas Moura. I mean, I thought it was a penalty at first as a tackle.
Yeah.
But he rolls the ball back to Trippier, who whips to the back stick, and Harry Kane comes towering in, by the way. Fantastic.
The jump he gets, Harry Kane, on this.
I mean, look, that looks like a penalty out there.
Spurs appeal for penalty.
Trippier again, doing what does best.
The height that Harry Kane gets on that header.
Hung there like a picture.
For me, that's a pen,
You think Spurs should have had a pen?
Yeah, that's a penalty there, but... To be fair, what a header this is. What a cross from Trippier, but what a header that is.
That's a great goal. It doesn't matter, because if it was a pen, it would have been Harry Kane. Probably would have scored with his penalties. It's a definite penalty foul on Lucas Moura.
100%.
Moura brings the ball back to Trippier. Trippier whips it in. Harry Kane from... He's not far out, is he, Harry Kane? But the leap he gets is incredible there.
World's best for me.
World's best centre
forward. For me, world's best.
Better than Robert Lewandowski?
Yeah.
In that number 9 position?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for me.
High praise there.
Spicy.
Who's scored a lot of
World's
As in number 9.
So number 9, the greatest in the world, Harry Kane.
Right now, yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because he just seems to like when people criticise him at the World Cup, but he's still got the golden boots sent home on the mantelpiece. People say that he's not got these different attributes. I mean, he's won 2 golden boots at the last 3, and for the Premier League, supposed to be arguably the toughest league to play in, and he scores 30 goals consecutively in 3 seasons.
It's interesting, isn't it? When he got the golden boot first, one season wonder, then he wins it again. He can't do it in the Champions League. Scored record goals in the Champions League. Can't do it in the World Cup. Wins the golden boot in the World Cup. It's like he constantly keeps.
Oh dear. I mean, you look at Lewandowski in the World Cup. It was like I was really looking forward to seeing him as well, and he did nothing.
So it was. You have to say it was good advantage played by the ref in a way. It was a definite penalty. We all think on the sofa that Spurs should have had from that foul with Lucas Moura. Play was waved on. Ball whipped in from Trippier. Goal from Harry Kane. It's our first goal of the day. Spurs lead at Huddersfield 1-0. And there's a couple of players down, Darren, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean the defender who give the penalty away. Well, supposed to be a penalty. He looks like he's really injured himself.
Yeah. Is Lucas Moura down as well?
Oh, more injuries than goals today. Come on.
Looks like he's done something bad there, and he screamed straight away. You can see him there, he screamed straight away.
Is Moura down as well, or is it just Huddersfield? We're just waiting to see replay. They're showing replays of the goal. Great goal from Harry Kane, great leap. And Kane to score a brace, he's just got one. Kane to score a brace is a Sky Bet price boost. You can get that at 5-4. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. Hamill, a few groans from you in the corner. What have you been witnessing?
Yeah, a couple more players have gone down. One for Everton. He appears to be up now. Marco Silva looking tentatively on. And Marco Silva's record since being in England defensively has been appalling. Worse than Steve Keane, I've been assured by one of my esteemed colleagues.
Was he at Blackburn, Steve?
Yes, he was. I'm not surprised you forgot. It wasn't a very memorable stint at all. I think he ended up in East Asia somewhere. However, apart from Steve Keane, nothing to report on, really. So, Harry Maguire, brilliant save there from the Newcastle goalkeeper. The towering microwave head of Harry Maguire, almost putting Leicester ahead. Pep Guardiola looking on in the stands, wondering why this City side haven't scored yet. They've been pushing and pushing. But Everton and Fulham, fairly even.
Thank you very much, Hamill. Injury at Spurs, sorry, at Huddersfield, Darren.
I can't quite see who it is, but obviously, as I said before, it was the guy who made the tackle for the penalty. He's gone down and he's had to be stretched off. It's sad, to be fair. I mean, I'm not quite sure who it was or what he's done, but as I said, as soon as he made the tackle, he kind of threw his arms up in the air to say, I've done something bad here.
He did signal, didn't he, to the bench to say you knew it was a nasty one. So Huddersfield make that enforced change. Goal, Ipswich Town 1-0 up.
Come on,
against Birmingham City. We don't have that information.
Manchester City, finally!
We'll find out. Goal for Man City. We'll talk us through it.
Games. OK, so Raheem Sterling arriving late there at the back post. The habit he's definitely picked up since Pep Guardiola came to the club, coached that into him. Right place, right time. I'm thinking it was maybe Leroy Sané who hammered it across the edge of the area.
Penalty.
We've got a penalty in the Leicester game.
It's all going on. It's like a London bus. We've been waiting for ages for one. Now we've got two potential penalties.
Handball there from somebody in a Magpies top. Harry Maguire attempting... That would have gone miles over.
Harry Maguire's getting forward a lot, isn't he?
That would have come down with snow on it. DeAndre Yedlin conceding the penalty there, but... It was that deadly combination, Sane to Sterling, that we saw so frequently last season coming to fruition again. Let's go over to the Leicester penalty. Probably going to be James Maddison, I'd imagine. No, it's not, Chris. You're wrong. It's James Vardy. Got the J bit right. So, can he get back amongst the goals after being out? Jamie Vardy.
Here we go. I reckon he misses.
Real cream in his hair. Come on, Sam.
I reckon he misses.
Down the middle.
No, you score.
Very 50-50 of penalties.
Yeah, I know. It's what it is, isn't it?
Oh, good finish.
Great penalty.
Side netting, Rippler. Getting the Foxes, and there's my result for the old bet coming in, Smithy.
So just remind us of the 2 goal scorers, Hammer, in your 2 games.
OK, Sterling and Kane. Kane? That's your game. Sterling and Jamie Vardy.
So it's a good day for the English front forwards. Jamie Vardy scores, Raheem Sterling scores, Harry Kane scores. An interesting Jamie Vardy celebration there, Hamill. Sort of does the old shh, be quiet to the Newcastle fans, it looks like, from this celebration.
Well, you know, vociferous bunch, aren't they? I'm sure they've only got kind words to say to him, but...
1-0.
Claude Puel looking happy there for a change because his the sort of axe has been hanging over him for a little while at Leicester. This would be a big result for him. Buy him a little bit more time, I'd imagine.
John Nolan, the goal scorer for Ipswich Town, Darren Bent, incidentally, at Birmingham City. So loads of goals going in. 3 goals now. Spurs 1-0 up, Man City 1-0 up, Leicester 1-0 up. Joel, what are you celebrating here, mate?
Yes, Troy Deeney's been booked. Yellow card, that's it. Get in there. Same colour as your top. Get in. Show him. Show him. Walk off. That's right, son.
Deeney's looking in good shape, man. This is the
lightest.
He
is.
What was he booked for, Joel?
What to say?
You know what? It was a bit of a brash challenge
What to save?
Oh, what's that?
Hey, 6 save. Oh, great save from Gazzaniga in the Spurs goal. Another chance for Huddersfield. It's a corner for Huddersfield now.
From.
Quite well
what have we got here in the Leicester game?
Hamill, Leicester
just
game.
a replay of the penalty. Ignore me entirely. Back to you.
Definite penalty, Hamill?
I mean, like I said before, there's no need to be that rash. Yedlin, good again, good going forward, but a little bit defensively suspect. Absolutely, he's turned his back to it. Quite amateurish, yeah, to be frank. That's something I'd do in a Sunday League game.
Hammer, we spoke quite a bit about Wolves last week. I've been particularly impressed with how they've played this season, not just the results game, but their performances, particularly against the big teams, Man United, Man City. How have Wolves started this game against Southampton?
Like I said before, it's quite strange, this game, because you expect Wolves, given current form, like you said, having 8 shots on target at Old Trafford, for example, to dominate. But it is quite attritional. The middle third seeing a lot of the ball, both teams failing to stitch up attacks. The wide players seeing an awful lot of it. But, like I said, Wolves have got more weaponry, haven't they? More tools at their disposal. If Danny Ings isn't firing on all cylinders, then Southampton have tended to struggle at the start of this season. João Moutinho, hopefully he can start bossing in the midfield.
Another chance for Spurs.
Hello, sir.
It's a penalty. A penalty has been awarded for Tottenham Hotspur, and just at that moment, a price boost appeared on your screen. Spurs 3-0. Darren, penalty for you?
100%. I mean, great play between Danny Rose and I can't remember who played the 1-2 with him. Oh, with Son as well. Great play.
Little 1-2 exchange.
I mean, he's clearly grabbed his shirt, but he's put his hands up in the air. But I don't understand why grab him there. You know he's in the box. Just leave him. Let him go.
You can't do that once you grab someone's shirt. Can you? I didn't touch him, having touched him.
Expertly won there.
It's a lovely 1-2 from Danny Rose and Heung-min Son. The contact is very slight, to be fair. It's not a huge pullback, but there is contact there.
Exactly.
Enough for a penalty.
Exactly, 100%.
Harry Kane steps up. Do you expect him to score this?
Come on. You know.
Come on. Going to miss, mate.
We'll stay with Darren as you talk us through this penalty.
Standing there.
Did you have a favourite side, Darren?
Keeper's right, I used to like to go to.
Keeper's right, yeah.
Harry Kane steps up.
Goal.
What a goal! Harry Kane makes it 2-0. Tottenham against Huddersfield. Great penalty. Never in doubt for you, Darren.
No, never at all. I mean, he looked so confident when he's taking the penalties. I mean, he sent the keeper the wrong way. Great penalty. I mean, and to be fair, Huddersfield, they conceded the first goal. They got back into it, to be fair. They rallied again, got around Tottenham, made it hard, but then again...
What a penalty.
Tottenham sucker punch, whang, 2-0.
What a penalty. Spurs 2-0 up. Come on, you Spurs! Hamill, any further action in your games?
Richarlison down now, buddy, and that is not good news for Marco Silva if he stays down. Are you punching the air there?
I was just excited to be scored.
Was that the replay that set you off? Smithy, come on.
Come on!
Richarlison receiving treatment on the pitch now, and without him, Everton don't look the same side, did they? I think I had a look at the numbers last week. Guess who's taken the second most shots in the Everton side at current per 90?
Leighton Baines?
Michael Keane.
Wow, really?
So they are struggling in the final third. Even Walcott, after his good start, not really as dangerous in recent weeks. And if Richarlison goes off, bit of a nasty tackle, by the by. So not quite sure who it was by. Not really getting the replay, but painting you a very clear picture here. He's hobbled off.
Yeah, it
does not look good.
Joel, we haven't come to you in a while. Arsenal, Watford. No goals yet. How's it been?
No goals, but it's a very aggressive game. I think out of all the 0-0s that's happening right now, this has probably been the most exciting that I've seen for a while. Not just because I'm an Arsenal fan, but honestly, it's really dangerous. I just feel like someone's going to score first, but I just can't tell you who.
It's great analysis, isn't it? Someone will score first. He doesn't know who.
That's the best way I can put it. No, because
argue with that.
I'm really interested in seeing the stats, like how many corners, how many, you know.
Chance, Joel, Watford free kick. Dangerous area, this.
Dangerous area.
This worries me.
This is going right at the back.
This is a horrible angle for Arsenal.
Yeah. It's going right over the back.
All glued to this Watford free kick.
Ready?
Little step over. Whips it in. Oh, chance!
That's a dangerous area. Well done.
Check, Gathers.
Check.
Solid,
well done.
Solid. It did just kick straight at him, but...
Yeah.
Did you all see that screenshot going around on Twitter of Peter Cech during contract negotiations?
Yeah,
That was absolutely class. That's the best tweet I've seen in a long time. Standing on my timeline pretty low.
I'll be honest with you. Even though he got the ball, I really feel like he fouled.
Yeah.
He fouled one of their players.
That
was a really bad. He would have been complaining if he had that challenge.
Who are you talking about, Joe?
Petr Cech seems to have fouled one of the Watford players.
Bang.
Oh, yeah.
He just ran into him.
Brutal.
That should be a Watford penalty.
You think so? Watford penalty, yeah.
That should be.
With that.
What's that then? What would you say that is then?
That was just a coming together.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's a bit
Keepers get away with all that, didn't they?
Yeah, no,
keepers
that's
do
way
get away with
too
a lot,
strong.
don't they?
That's way too much, in my opinion.
A chance for Huddersfield. Oh!
Look at him having a good old chat with Howard Webb lookalike.
Another corner.
That's a Liverpool bloke. Do we want a question?
Yes, we do want a question from social temps. What you got for us?
E. Reed wants to know, who is the most overlooked Premier League striker?
Good question
overlooked
there.
Premier League striker.
What's the criteria for overlooked? Yeah. Hasn't been capped, maybe doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Credit he deserves.
What do you think, chaps?
Glenn Murray, surely.
You think Glenn Murray?
He's a bit of a legend, but I think there's someone else, though. I don't know yet, but...
Yeah.
Be someone else.
Yeah.
He never seems to get the credit. He always seems to get a lot of goals for Brighton, and they seem to always go under the radar. I think is he at the top, one of the top scorers this season?
Top scores, 4 goals in the Premier League this season, and also top goal scorer for Brighton last season. Glenn Murray scored 14 goals last season.
It's a fine wine, isn't it?
12 Premier League and Smurfit Cup. Now, no disrespect to Brighton, but 14 goals in all competitions for Brighton. Backs your point up a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, like for years I've been watching him, and he seems to go under the radar, but no one ever seems to speak about Glenn Murray. What a good season he's had. It's always like, Glenn Murray scored. Glenn Murray scored.
Look what he did for Palace as well.
He's a very unfashionable centre-forward, which is probably why really talks about him.
The club's 3rd top scorer of all time with 98 goals. Top scorer currently this
98,
season.
decent.
Top scorer last season as well.
I think you've smashed it there, Dan. I think it's pretty hard to justify anyone else, but that goal against Manchester United actually
that little
technique, brilliant.
Lovely.
And I thought, the only reason I knew that is because I've been thinking about it for years. I think, why come this guy... Like, obviously, I know he's probably missed the boat for the whole England thing, but surely someone's going to just give him a mention, like even if a token gesture.
What about in your era? Who do you think should have got more caps, or maybe players you played with that you thought went a little bit underappreciated? Anyone stand out for you in particular?
Someone I thought should have got more caps, but just... I don't know if he was... I don't know if... How to kind of describe it, but for his ability-wise, I mean, playing with Gabriel Bonglahor, he had some serious ability, speed, power, everything, but I think he's got about maybe 3 or 4 caps, but... Now, I don't know if that's to do with him not getting picked or him not really being bothered.
He tailed off at the end of his career.
He did,
he was an absolute weapon on FIFA 2009.
It's interesting as well. Jimmy Bullard tells a great story about Gabriel Bonglahor. When Jimmy got called into the England squad, he said he was playing the keep ball with 2 in the middle. And he was saying the thing he noticed is when he went to international level, it was so much quicker.
Yeah.
And he said what surprises him was Gabriel Bonglahor, who he always thought of a pacey player, you know, not his best asset was was his technique. He said was the best at keep ball in that England training session. It's just one training session, but goes to show that maybe he was overlooked
that week, Smithy.
Bigs him up. Has a lot of love for Gabriel Bonalo as well.
Yeah, he was impossible to deal with during that season where Villa came almost kind of pushing for Champions League around Christmas.
Yeah, Spurs City and Villa, wasn't it? Pushing for that fourth, which Spurs got, but I think they came.
Him, John Crew, and Ashley Young.
Showing your age.
He should have had so many more caps.
Showing your age right there.
Good question, though, Tens. Any others you got for us, social media? Good one, that. I like it.
Yes, I have. This is from Matthew.
Hello? Oh, sorry, Thames.
This can go to everyone. Who's the most interesting footballer you've ever met?
Oh, Darren Bent.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Most interesting. That's the key word there.
Joel, you're going to kick us off.
Again,
define. You want to define interesting? Someone who's got a good story, I guess.
Maybe surprising.
A good come up. A good.
He's not a footballer, which might be a more diplomatic angle. But weirdly enough, we did Personal Mastermind with Dave Batista the other day.
Definitely not a footballer.
Yeah.
The wrestler. And I wasn't even a wrestling fan, but you know, he's just got that presence, that physique, and when he spoke, very softly spoken, very humble. He came out of the room where he's been interviewed. He had a 20-30-minute conversation with everyone there, and this is like a Hollywood A-lister. And he was just the most down-to-earth guy I've ever interviewed. So easy to deal with. Really made you feel at ease as well. So in recent times, the best footballer I've met is Dave Batista. That was just to get the juices flowing, gentlemen. Smithy, you've interviewed an awful lot of people.
Yeah.
Who's up there for you?
It's very tough when it's hard to.
Interesting's weird.
It's really tough because I don't know how you quantify interesting. I have to say, even as a Spurs fan, one of the nicest footballers I've ever met was Santi Cazorla. We did a teammates feature with him, and it was one of them where I was just in a room with him for quite a long period of time because of PR and media and how the event works. And for someone that's had such bad luck with injuries, and he was out injured that time, and you know when you interview a footballer, you always go there as an interview thinking, you've maybe not the best time to interview a footballer. They're quite right, you might be a bit down. And he had so much time for everyone, and he was smiling, and he was just great in the interview, and just a really honest guy. And then you read reports. I think it was a month later he came out and said he nearly lost his ankle in his injury, his leg, and he thought his career was over. And I was thinking,
bacteria was eating his
that was
Achilles.
the same time.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He's got skin. He's had to have a skin graft from his arm onto the back
his
of
ankle.
his ankle.
Wow.
But the point that I want to make is that only came out a week after I interviewed him at a time when...
And he was still chipper.
And he was still in such a positive mindset. It just made me think that when people think they have, certain problems that aren't problems, it was just a very positive outlook. Heung-min Son's another one I thought was just one of the happiest footballers I've ever met.
wow.
Oh,
but yeah, tough question. Good one.
It is a tough question.
Just hit the crossbar there. Going over to Everton versus Fulham. Fulham, unfortunate not to take the lead with...
Is that Sessegnon?
Sessegnon wrapping it onto the crossbar. One of those trademark surges for that we saw last season that earned him PFA Young Player of the Year.
He won everything,
player
didn't he?
of the Championship to do so.
Did he win everything last year?
He won a lot of trophies.
I must remember the picture of him with about 7 trophies.
Wow.
And that was before they got production on the Championship
wrestler when belts are just great.
Darren, you've got to get your answer to this question. Most interesting footballer. Obviously, you've met more footballers than any of us put together. Most interesting footballer you've ever met?
I think interesting, a funny character. Remember Kevin Prince Boateng?
Yeah.
He was a maniac. Like when he was at top, and he was interesting because you just never know from day to day what was going to happen.
Right.
But at that time as well, he wasn't playing as well, so that probably made it worse. So he was angry he wasn't playing, and he was kind of get his crazy tattoos. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the crown on his neck.
Yeah, I have.
Like me and him went to get that together. Like, and
really?
Yeah, and he said to me, "Oh, like, what do you think?" And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, I'd never have that on my neck. I was like, yeah, it looks alright.
You're a bad friend, you know.
I'd get it even bigger.
I like that, like, he was like, yeah, I get it, and just got it straight away, but that's just the kind of personality he was. Like, he'd wake up one day and just be like, I'm going to go and do this today, and then just go and do it.
Just impulsive.
Yeah.
Scored an amazing goal in the Champions League for AC Milan. Do you remember that goal he scored?
He's had a really interesting career. A couple of years ago, he was still doing it at the very top for Las Palmas, and I was just like, Kevin Prince is still knocking about, and I think he's in Germany now, but...
Joel, perfect time to mention Cheeky Sport. Obviously, you, of course, as well as all of us, meet a lot of footballers, usually after matches, before matches, when you do your fan cams. How are they going, and who's the most interesting footballer you've met?
I'll be honest with you. I'll start with retired. The most interesting was probably Paul Gascoigne. I only met him not too long ago now.
Yeah.
Gaza is...
Do you know what?
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I'm thinking, why didn't I say Gaza?
Yeah. No, Gaza is one of the... Gaza is exactly who you want him to be when you meet him. It's the only way I can explain. Like,
he's no different off camera to his on camera.
He's excited. He is who he is. Do you know what I mean? He's Paul Gascoigne, and he's hilarious, you know, and I was so glad. I thought when I would meet Paul, he'll be a bit, you know, like a bit chilled out now, you know what I mean? He's done the whole football thing, but he's just as excited. He's like a kid.
Yeah.
I think professionally as a footballer, I can't help but probably say Kolo Touré is probably the most humble individual you'll ever meet in your life. Like, have you ever tried to banter a footballer like Kolo? And he's just like thank you. Yeah. Like, well, this ain't funny anymore, is it? So like, and then he's having a chat with you. He's having a chat with fans and telling you can make it in life. It gets a bit emotional. It's like,
it feels like his positivity is like infectious. We had him for Celtic during the last year of his career. And just the players and fans alike just loved him.
Really?
He just wins people over, doesn't he? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. He was a coach for a little while as well, so it's quite weird to see him in the dugout from a technical point of view. Just like, you know,
yeah.
Just...
Wow.
Good questions, though. Good questions. Another prize boost just coming on your screen now for one of our feature games. Spurs Son to score the third goal was 8-1, now 9-1. Wow, Heung-min Son, third goal, now 9-1. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply. Hamill, few goals so far. How are the 0-0 games looking?
Like 0-0 games, Smithy, I've got to say. Although, Brighton there, a rare attack for them in City's box.
And it's half-time at Wolves. These are the scenes. Molyneux, Wolves 0, Southampton 0.
Czech's injured.
So they are the scenes.
It's gone down.
Not a lot's happened. We'll come back to that game shortly.
Here, Smithy. One last attack before we leave, and the pass on the edge of the box a little bit slow there.
Yeah, it's done.
Joel, what's happening in your game? Big moment in your game.
Czech's injured. You've got to put that on, mate.
How did he get injured, Joel?
I don't know. I think he went to kick it for a goal kick, and then bang!
Yeah, it's
done his hamstring.
Oh, it looks nasty, that.
Oh, he's out.
That is a standing goal kick with no one around him. He's just...
Yeah,
that's a 5 weeker, that.
He's kicked the ball and straight away fallen to the ground. Looks in a lot of pain as well.
Oh, man.
For the substitution.
Definitely not.
Another half-time.
Definitely not.
Manchester City 1-0 up against Brighton.
The only game that's still going is Everton and Fulham, Smithy, and Fulham are on the attack. So let's see how this ends. Oh, and the keeper's collected it safely. Looks like we're going to see this game out.
Half-time, Newcastle Leicester. These are the scenes at St James's.
Go!
He's hit the bar. Darren, what happened? I completely missed that in the Spurs game.
Huddersfield, great cross from, I think it was Hogg down the left side, stood up in the back stick. The striker's coming with an unbelievable volley, underside of the bar, but stayed out. I thought it was in.
Was it De Poitre?
Are Spurs lucky to be 2-0 up here? Because Huddersfield have had a lot of the ball, haven't they?
They've had a lot of the ball, but they've not created anything really, but...
Chance again.
What a strike.
Let off for Spurs. Aaron Moy blazed it.
Arsenal boys excited to see Leno?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because I'm just laughing at the fact I thought Aaron Ramsey was going to help Czech, but he just came for the captain's
Darren, here's the replay again for Huddersfield. Oh, it's a great volley, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, it looked like it come off his shin, but...
Look at this volley.
Did it come off his shin?
Is it De Poitre?
Wow,
bangs it underside of the bar. Now, Gazzaniga absolutely planted. Could have done nothing about that. David Wagner thinks it's gone in. You see the arms in the air and then styles it out the back of the head. It is still Huddersfield 0, Spurs 2. Let off for Tottenham there.
De Poitre looks like he should be a bouncer.
Well,
he's massive, isn't he? All right.
Smithy, I really feel this could be one of the last times you see Czech.
Do you think so?
Something...
Big shout, Joel.
No, honestly,
huge shout. We're never going to see it again.
What I mean is...
On a football pitch?
Because if Leno gets a good run, let's just say he is out for 5 weeks, it's going to be extremely hard for him to get back into the team.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
And then if that stays like that for the rest of the season, then who knows?
So let's round up the half-time results. One result from earlier on today, West Ham beating Man United 3-1. Felipe Anderson, an own goal for Victor Lindelof, and Marko Arnautovic scoring. Marcus Rashford with the only goal for Man United. Arsenal-Watford is still playing. No, it's not still playing. These are the scenes at the Emirates. It's 0-0 at half-time between Arsenal and Watford. Everton-Fulham, that is 0-0. That one is still playing. Huddersfield Spurs still playing as well. Harry Kane, 2 goals, 1 from the penalty spot, 1 a header. He's on for the perfect hat-trick in that game, of course. Huddersfield 0, Tottenham 2, still playing. Man City 1, Brighton 0. That one's at half-time. Raheem Sterling with the only goal of the game. Newcastle 0, Leicester 1, thanks to Jamie Vardy. Wolves 0, Southampton 0. So lots of goals. And Joel, the substitution is being made.
Yeah, like I said, Leno, I'm very happy to see him on, but not due to the circumstances currently, because, you know, I love the fact that we've got, I was saying earlier on to Temps, I love the fact that there's competition in our team, and with Cech being out, you know what I mean, starting to feel like Spurs a little bit, man.
With keepers.
Exactly, so...
Yeah, it's a bit scary.
And my greatest worry is, you know, Cech not being able to break back.
You're really worried about that, aren't you? You might never see Cech again.
Well, he's a legend, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's sentimental, Joel.
It's a bit emotional, you know.
And you've got to look at his age and, you know...
Yeah. Record amounts of clean sheets in the Premier League. It's 202 or something. Incredible goalkeeper.
He'll be back because Leno is...
Is what?
Well, a lot of them at Chelsea down.
Is what?
I'm not convinced by Leno.
Oh, geez, taxi.
No, I mean, his distribution was fine, but at Leverkusen he was consistently underperforming and performing about where you'd expect. So I hope Arsenal fans don't see, you know, Leno as their Edison, because I think you might be disappointed. But, you know, that's just a little cheap dig there, to be honest.
A bit harsh.
Mitrovic putting it wide there.
Chance for Spurs, Darren.
How much injury time is in this game, by the by?
A lot of injury time. Should he have done better there? Was that Lucas Moura?
Yeah,
played the wrong pass.
Yeah, maybe. I think he got kind of caught up. He had Hurricane one side, Heung-min Son the other. I think he should have just shot.
Yeah, and they are the scenes. Huddersfield 0-2.
Finally half-time, Smithy.
Finally half-time in that game. Both goals from Harry Kane. There is the man of the moment. He played really well in this game last year, as he does in a lot of games, let's be honest. But he has been the difference. A header and a penalty. All he needs is a left-footed goal for the perfect hat-trick. That one 2-0. Huddersfield had chances towards the end. One more game playing. How many have they all finished? No, they've all finished.
They've all wrapped up, mate.
Here's Fulham. Ryan Sessegnon. Best chance of the game, was that?
Hit the crossbar easily.
Yeah.
Quite. Mitrovic had a few half chances at the end, and I do like Mitrovic. Watching this Newcastle-Leicester game, I think
Newcastle, very well.
You know, had he got along with Rafa Benitez, probably could have been useful to this Newcastle side.
Yeah. But Fulham paid what? Between 15 and 20 for him, quite possibly, maybe a little bit cheaper after that loan, paying a loan fee as well. But he looks like a good focal point for them, and they look the strong side. Fulham going into this second half.
OK, thanks for that. Right, we can have a look at how our accumulator is doing. We're at the half-time stage. This is what we predicted. Joel said there is no way Arsenal won't win this game, Smithy. He said home win. It's currently still on for that. Currently 0-0 in that game. Still on. I said home win, Everton-Fulham. Not going to plan. 0-0 in that game, but Fulham with the best chance. Darren Bent said away win. Spurs, that's looking very comfortable. Darren, Huddersfield nil Spurs too. Yeah. I said home win for Man City Brighton. That's going to plan. Man City, I think we can all agree, look like they're going to go on to win that game. Currently 1-0. Chris, you said away win again. Good shout, that one. So
guilty
far.
as charged.
Newcastle 0. Leicester 1. Temps, you went for a home win in that one. Wolves 0, Southampton 0, and that was 20-1. So we're still on. There's no results going badly. Are we confident about this?
Of course, it's fine.
Always. I feel like if we're not, then, you know, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah,
we've got to be. You've got to generate some positivity, like you said.
Yeah.
Our Aka's not been great up until now. The tide has got to turn somewhere, hasn't it, Smith?
This is the one. Right, earlier on in the week, we caught up with Tom Cairney to talk about his Fulham teammates. Here's what he had to say.
I would say the best player, probably because the hardest thing to do in football is score goals. I'd probably say Mitrovic, yeah.
That's big, because you've got the likes of Schürrle in there as well, Sarri.
Yeah, I know, to be fair, I'll not put a World Cup winner in there. It doesn't really make much sense, but no, I think Mitro has been brilliant for us, and ever since I played with him, he's been, like, the main man, so yeah, same. Kevin McDonald, I think every player in our team would say the same. He will find anything and everything to moan about. Just the pre-season is a nightmare. Like warm-ups he hates, so he just moans constantly. He's a nightmare for the fitness stuff.
Pre-season is probably a footballer's worst bit of it. Yeah. How do you find it?
Yeah, it ruins the last 3 weeks of your holiday, 2 weeks of your holiday, because it's all you can think about is pre-season and getting battered. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not genetically blessed on like fitness-wise, so I have to work quite hard. So yeah, I don't like it. Ooh, biggest diva. I'm going to say Stefan Johansson. Or he's going to hate me saying that.
Why is he going to hate you?
No, he's not. He's going to hate me saying that. But I think it's him. Like, if he has to do, like, media or he has to do anything, like, past 1 o'clock in the afternoon where he can go home, he is not happy.
So he's the first one to leave.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Abu Kamara for being late. He's late all the time. Like, you have to be in by 9:45 and you have to have your breakfast by 9:45, but he just strolls in at 10 a.m.
I mean, 9:45 is reasonable to get in.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that shouldn't be difficult.
Yeah, but if you have to be in by 11:45, you might come in just after, like, 12 o'clock.
What else is on the fine list?
Best one's nutmegs.
Oh, really? You get fined for getting
yeah, that's the best one. You get fined for getting megged in training. So, like, boxers, circles, if you get megged, it's 20 quid. All goes to the Christmas do, so it's all right.
Who owes the most fines for getting nutmegged?
Oh, who's been megged lately? Cess.
Really?
Cess has been megged a few times, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you'd be the one giving them.
No, he's been megged a few times.
Who has to collect the money? Is that your job?
No, Johansson and Betts, Marcus Bettinelli, the keeper. We have, like, printed out sheets, and then as soon as, like, you come in from training, there's any fines, everyone's left a jumper out, drinks ball, you write the name up and the amount, and you have to pay it by Friday, otherwise it gets doubled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think we're getting a chip and pin machine.
No way.
I swear, we take it serious. We're getting a chip and pin machine, because everyone said no one carries cash anymore.
No.
So, like, everyone has the card on them, so there's no excuse to pay.
Yeah.
So if it's less than £30, it's contactless. Dennis O'Doy, randomly, you wouldn't really expect it. He's like, I don't know, it's hit and miss, really, but he has, like, old MJ, a bit of Motown.
Yeah.
Some current, few love songs, to be fair.
Love songs?
We played away from home and, like, we're blasting out Mariah Carey. Like, I wonder what the home team's thinking when we're playing tunes like that, but...
What would you play, then, if you were in charge?
What would I play? I think just, like, old 90s R&B.
Yeah.
Bit of, Usher. Me, see, I'm not good, so I'll be like Usher and R. Kelly and that type of music, yeah.
Do you sing along to those ones? Because the Usher songs are brilliant.
Yeah, Usher's a banger, yeah, always sing along.
What's your favourite one?
You Got It Bad.
Yeah.
It's big.
I won't ask you to sing it.
No, I'm not singing it, no chance. I'd probably say Abu Kamara, yeah. He's got a bit. He has got a bit, to be fair. If you go on his Instagram, there's a few, like, videos. You know, the Drake In My Feelings challenge?
The Kiki one.
You need to get that up.
I've heard of it.
He's good, he's good.
Yeah. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always.
What's your moves like?
OK, when I loosen up. I start a little bit side to side, like my mum, but then
just ease your way
loosen up, yeah. Ease my way in. Mitrovic, easy. He stays in the gym for about 2 hours, 3 hours after training, just doing weights. I think he leaves at like 5 p.m. He's the only one of us that works at an actual 9 to 5.
He actually does a full-time job?
Yeah, he does, yeah. They've been terrible.
Really?
Yeah. We did this thing, like, you can either sing or pay money to go towards the Christmas do. It was quite a lot of money because you want them to sing.
Yeah.
But this song, we just wish we'd took the money because it was shambles.
Who was the worst?
It's hard because he's got a lot of new players from different countries,
yeah.
So it is hard for him, but I'd probably say the worst was Fabry, the keeper. Yeah, it's not the best.
What was he singing?
A different language as well, so...
So you can't even...
The boys weren't having it in one bit.
So you need people to do Usher, then you
That's what I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Teacher's pet. I think you got to say Cess.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Well looked after.
He's done well to say he's 12 years old. Dennis O'Doy speaks about 12 languages, reads books that not many footballers do, and he travels London going to different coffee shops because he loves coffee.
I love that the smartest is just anyone that can read a book.
Yeah, I know, not many footballers read. I know that's kind of...
What books
I'm not
reading?
talking, like, autobiographies, I'm talking, like, intelligent books.
What's an intelligent book?
I don't know, it looks intelligent anyway.
Yeah, it's a hardback. It's 300 pages.
And he wears glasses when he's...
And he wears glasses. Yeah, so there you go.
He's definitely the smartest. Worst dressed. Neeskins Cabano can wear some rascal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bright colours everywhere. Yeah.
Is it just like from top to bottom, or is it just like
yeah, top to bottom, like multicoloured, yeah.
You like fashion, you're quite stylish.
I'm okay, yeah, I'm all right.
I like your trainers?
Yeah, these are controversial.
Controversial, yeah. The laces,
Exactly, that's what I mean.
We talked about clothes and rascal stuff.
No.
Did it get hanging
No,
up?
I think that's died out a little bit. Jimmy used to do it to me when I was young.
Did he?
Yeah. I don't know if he remembers, yeah. I used to have, like, these old... Do you remember, like, when Toms and stuff was in fashion? like plimsolls, kind of.
Yeah.
I had some and he thought they was horrendous. So, like, there was white. I've paid, like, £40. It was a lot of money to me back in the day. I was, like, 18 or something. And he just... I don't know, he drew big smiley faces on him, like, drew himself, and he just used to wear it. He wore them in the gym to do weights. My head was gone. He offered to give me the money back. I said, nah, keep it. Use your shambles.
Jimmy, you owe Tom an apology.
I'm 40 quid.
All right, Tom, I'll give you an apology for your trainers, fair enough, but they were absolute shockers. I remember them, little plimsolls Toms. You're saying they're worth 40 quid. I'm telling you now, they weren't worth a score. Shockers.
You wouldn't be wearing those Toms now, though, would you?
Nah, no chance.
Yeah, exactly. It's done you a favour, didn't I, you mug?
Tom, brilliant. Thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers.
Great stuff from Jimmy Bullard there and Tom Kearney. Thank you very much, guys. Right, half-times. We've seen some goals, not loads of goals. Temps, what are people saying on social media? Have you got any more questions for us in the half-time interim?
Tyson wants to know whether Aubameyang and Lacazette are the best Premier League pairing. What do we think?
I've got to stop you there because I'm being told we have got Robbie Lyle from AFTV on the phone right now. Robbie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Robbie, thank you very much for joining us, top man, as always. Got to get your thoughts on the first half. You're at the Emirates, as you are every single Arsenal game. How do you think the first half has gone for Arsenal?
Yeah, you know, to be fair, it's been a bit disappointing. Lacazette had a clear chance when he was clean through a mistake by one of the Watford players, which he should have scored, which he put wide. But apart from that, we've not really had many chances. And you've got to say Watford have been overall the better team in that half. So, you know, there's been a few hearing moments for us. Petr Cech just went off injured just on half-time, so, you know, he's off the pitch. So at the moment, you know, it's looking a little shaky. But then we've started a lot of games like this season and then come out and played a much better second half. So I'm hoping we're going to do that today. But not a great first half, I have to say.
OK, Robbie, I'm in the studio with the Football Daily guys, Joel from Cheeky Sport, Darren Bent, myself. We all seem to agree that Arsenal should have had a penalty, Lacazette. But he's very, very honest. He stayed on his feet. What was your take on that incident?
Well, I was shouting. I'm thinking, why did you dive? And it's horrible to say that, but it looks like that's the only way you're going to get these nowadays. But it was a definite... We had one like it the other night as well. And the problem is that our players are too honest, which... in one aspect, is a great thing, but it was definitely a penalty. And the referees, if they want to cut diving out of the game, they've got to give those when when it's a clear foul. But he didn't go down and he just waved on. So, it's one of those. But, I think our players are too honest at the moment.
OK, fair point. Lastly, just quickly, Petr Cech, you mentioned that there going off. That looked quite nasty, that hamstring injury. How big a blow is that for Arsenal, Petr Cech going off?
It's quite a big blow because I've been one of the people who've been singing his praises this season. He's played really well. He's been really solid. And even today, Watford have been throwing in a lot of crosses and he's dealt with everything. And he was been very brave on those. It's a big game for Leno to come straight into. It's going to be up against guys like Troy Deeney and that, so it's going to be very physical up front for him. So it's one of those games that hopefully he'll make his mark. So I can see the team coming back out now, so I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, Robbie, I thought you'd say that. We're looking at the pictures now. You get back to the game. Thank you very much for joining us, mate, and we'll get you on the Football Social very soon.
So long. All right, cheers, mate.
Thanks mate. Goodbye. Take care. Interesting point there, Joel. Got to come to you as an Arsenal fan. Do you agree with everything Robbie was saying there?
Yeah, mostly. I think we've had one or two more chances that he probably suggests. Like, as you saw earlier on, there was one where it got whipped in for Lacazette and he didn't get his toe in it at the end. But, yeah, I would say Watford's been the better team so far. I didn't want to say it, but it's the truth. Every time I look, like, they seem to have the ball, they're comfortable, and they were making Cech work. Hopefully this half... Arsenal could switch it around like we have done for most of the season.
It's an interesting point you made, saying it's a hard game from Leno to come on for, picking up on that because Watford are quite a physical team, and he's probably not used to that aspect of it. I sort of understand where he's coming from there.
I'll say physical, but also we're being attacked. You know, let's not be shy about it. We're actually being attacked here. You know, sometimes there's battles in the middle, etc. They found their way behind our defenders quite a few times this game already. So he has to stay alert. It's all well and good to have good distribution, but his shot stopping is going to have to be very good this half.
Yeah, well said. Darren, looks like there's a change in the Spurs game.
Yeah, Victor Wanyama's come on, but I don't know who he's come on for, to be fair. Or it's an interesting one. I don't know if it's going to be maybe Vertonghen, but can he play? Unless they're going to change the whole shape.
Yeah, let's go with the two and he comes on as a DM.
Yeah, maybe. So it's an interesting change. I mean, that will definitely show up the protection in front of the back four. Big, strong unit. It
sort of echoes what we were both saying in the first half, though, that Huddersfield are getting a lot of joy going forward. That's quite a defensive sub either way, isn't it, to bring Wanyama on? Obviously shows Poch is concerned about that.
Exactly, yeah, because even though Huddersfield have a lot of the ball, I mean, they've not really looked like players. 2 changes.
Oh, it's a double sub.
Double change, yeah.
Winks. He's bringing Winks and Wanyama on. So this is, I mean, we haven't seen who's coming off, but obviously 2 defensive-minded players. Harry Winks and Victor Wanyama are both coming on. Interesting, that double sub. I don't think he's done many double subs at half-time.
No, unless he's not happy with something or someone's got a little injury. Because I don't think anyone for Spurs particularly played badly in the first half.
Be very interesting to see who's coming off.
Who's number 5? Vertonghen.
Vertonghen is number 5 off the top of my head.
The hamstring.
So Vertonghen is off, which, maybe that's a slight niggle. Don't forget, Spurs have got Barcelona in the week, so there'll be one eye on that fixture at, I'll say at home, Wembley Stadium.
So he's come off. I couldn't see the number.
No. So Harry Winks and Wanyama both come on. Vertonghen is one of the subs off. We will get confirmation as soon as we know. We'll let you know. So interesting double substitution from Poch at half-time. Hamill, all of your games underway yet?
Everton, Fulham yet to kick off, but the other 3 are in full swing, Smithy. And Wolves, Leicester and City have come out of the traps this second half. Leicester finding a lot of joy down their left-hand side. Ben Chilwell, very, very good player, rated, very well-rounded. Yeah. Maybe targeting Yedlin a little bit to in and around their box, finding a little bit of joy. Wolves starting to put together a little bit more play. Diego Jota a little bit more involved. And City narrowly flashing a shot past the post. It was Kyle Walker, who I probably think is the best right-back in the world at current. And, Darren, you played with him while he was on loan at Villa, didn't you?
Oh. I did, yeah. He was
Look at that trivia.
He's best right-back in the world, Hamill says.
That's a tough one.
I mean, feel free to disagree.
I'm trying to think of, to be honest, I can't right now think of any other right-backs other than him and Trippier. But, yeah, he is fantastic. I mean, I do think Tottenham have been quite clever there, though, by letting him go for 50 million and then bringing Trippier in. That's quite good business, to be fair, because I don't think there's much between the two of them other than Kyle Walker's got that unbelievable pace. But I think defensively, I think Trippier's probably a little bit better than him because I don't think really either of them can really.
That is another spicy one.
I'm not sure about that, Darren.
No?
No, I just think we've seen from the World Cup that Kyle Walker can now play in a back three. I think in his Tottenham days, probably just as defensively. Suspect's a bit strong, but on a sort of level pegging with Trippier defensively. But I think since Pep Guardiola's come in, his sort of game management, his match intelligence has gone up a notch. I would say Kyle Walker, he's much more well-rounded for me.
Do you think so? I just think defensively, for England in the World Cup as well, I think him playing the right of the three, I don't think he particularly had to do much anyway, other than obviously he's got that electric pace to cover him behind, but the only time he was really tested was against Croatia and Belgium, and he struggled.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, and he gave away that the penalty in the opening game as well, didn't he? But I think he is in a high-risk position, and that's... And he sort of does the same job for City as well, doesn't he, with Benjamin Mendy on the left-hand side when they overload, and you have Kyle Walker coming in to fill that centre-back berth or that become that one of those back three. So his is a high-risk role, and he's asked to do an awful lot, isn't it?
The thing I'd say about Kyle Walker, to be fair, which he's got over Kieran Trippier in abundance, is his versatility, because he can play right back, as you said, or worst-case scenario at times, he could even maybe go a bit further forward, just because of that pace.
And when you were playing with him at Villa, did you think here's a guy who's going to go to the very top?
Yeah. Just because of the pace. Like, you can't have that...
Searing.
Yeah, you can't have that amount of pace and not go right to the top. I mean, pace kills, that speed kills. And when you've got that much pace that he's got, like, all it took was the right managers just to go... I think Gerard Houllier, if he'd had him a bit longer, would have got that out of him.
OK.
But because, obviously, he's only there on loan and Gerard Houllier got ill and left, and obviously he went to Tottenham, obviously he never got the chance to develop, but it was always going to be... once the manager got hold of Kyle Walker, he was going to turn him into what you see today.
Wow. Who improved you most as a manager?
Gerard Houllier was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, technically he's brilliant. He just sees little things that other managers don't see. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had good man managers, but as far as little like technical bits and bobs and how to improve your game just a little bit, where you're going to score most goals, like Houllier was good at that.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
I mean, he loved reminding me that he worked with like Thierry and Owen. And
well, he likes
that story again.
Oh, wow. Joel, chance for Arsenal there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I missed it. I was so intrigued in Darren's story. Like, you know, I love hearing stories like that. And I thought that his argument with Chris, I was thinking who's going to back down quickest, but Chris won't have none of it. That's why I missed what was going on.
Let us know what you guys think as well in the comments section on the Walker-Trippier debate, on any topics you want to bring up today. Temps, how are we looking on social? What are people saying?
We're looking good. I put a poll out saying it's a very premature poll. Can Leno keep Cech out of the Arsenal squad? At the moment, 73% are saying yes, he can.
Wow.
So a lot of people are backing
the Trippier Walker.
Poll. That one's coming. That one's coming.
Oh, I can feel a landslide victory.
The question...
Oh my days, what a save!
Big moment
from Leno.
Talk us through this.
Oh man, well, to be honest with you,
Great timing, Leno.
You know what it was? Watford got a free kick in a dangerous area because, of course, you know when you whip it in from that angle, anything can happen. And you know what? Leno was alert from a try.
You
know what? Fantastic save.
It's a great strike as well.
It's a great strike. I mean, to be fair, I really thought that Troy should have finished that.
It's a good strike.
Where's the marking?
But you tell me. You tell me. There is none.
We've got Mustafi.
There is none.
So he opened his body up, placed it from quite short distance, and Leno full stretch, bottom corner.
I think
just at a time we've done a poll about Leno and Cech, and Leno is winning by a country mile. He makes a big save, and Deeney with that chance. Deeney, incidentally, to score the first goal. Is it 14-1? There's so much going on. Deeney to score first. 14-1 price. This must be 18 plus. Full term conditions apply. Deeney's just had a chance in that game. Spurs have missed a chance in that game. What's going on in your games? Chris Hamill, go.
Oh, right. Everton just missed 2 decent chances, punishing Fulham from set pieces using their physicality. Kurt Zouma and Richarlison nearly getting in. Back to you,
Back to you, Joel. Chance for Watford.
I was really worried there that Arsenal would concede a penalty because the way they're marking the Watford players is very weird. Like Monreal sandwiching.
Whipped in again. Watford.
Great corner.
This is such an open game at the Emirates, Joel.
It just seems like Watford are getting the better out of us, man. I'm really not happy at the moment, you know?
And Darren, chance in the Spurs game, half chance.
Half chance, but good save, to be fair. I mean, he bobbled it past him. It was a good save.
Lucas Moura, good save. Falling over.
Hello? Oh, good defending there by someone for Fulham. Whose name on it?
What's he giving here? Is it a penalty? Chris, Everton, Fulham?
Oh, OK, maybe it wasn't good defending. Maybe there's a discrepancy there. The referee seems to think so anyway.
Big incident at Everton, Fulham. Let's stick with Chris Hamill for this.
Right.
Say something, Chris.
Well, I'm waiting to see the penalty incident, Smithy, but it's not come on yet. Here we have a replay now. Calvert-Lewin charging down the right-hand side. He's got... it's a show! It's a blatant show.
It's a penalty.
It's not shoulder to shoulder at all. He's got the better of him first time round.
That was not subtle at all.
Oh, is this a penalty? What do we think?
Yes, subtlety apparently not part of Adoy's game because he sent him for a hot dog there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. What are we thinking? Is that a definite penalty, Darren, you saying?
Not definite. It looked a bit harsh to me, but some angles it looks a bit...
It's split opinion, this incident, but the ref has given it, Chris.
That was a pen.
Right, either way.
Definitely a pen.
Let's see who's taking this penalty.
Let's stick with Hamill for this
Everton.
penalty.
I imagine it would be...
Richarlison, right?
Sigurdsson.
Sig, their spot kick specialist.
OK.
Sig.
Yeah, Sigurdsson it is.
What's up with the Arsenal? What's this?
The big Sig.
Here we go. We know he likes to go from a set piece.
Oh, my God. Come on.
All chance for Arsenal. Let's stay with Chris for Everton and we'll go to Joel.
Here we go.
It's going to miss.
Can Bennett stop him in goal? Hurry up, Sigurdsson, and take it, please. The Icelander not phased here by the weight, it would seem.
Is it froze?
Is the Icelander froze? The crossbar! Sigurdsson, normally so reliable from those situations, put it straight down the middle, hit the beans on toast. No, he's hit the crossbar, not the... Bennett
doesn't work.
Bennett went bottom left. He was absolutely nowhere to be seen. Sigurdsson!
That was the most casual run.
It was a casual run, and it was stalling for so long.
Did he not do the same against Nigeria?
He did miss a penalty in the World Cup with Sigurdsson. He also scored in the World Cup, but he sent the keeper the wrong way. It looked like it was going in, and then it rattled off the crossbar. Big chance. There was a big chance in the Arsenal game, Joel. Tell us what happened earlier. Lacazette.
Lacazette, a great ball from the Aubameyang.
Oh, Ben! Penalty!
Nah.
Chance for Spurs. Oh. Darren, what happened in that game?
It looked like it was a pen to me, but he's not complaining, so maybe not. Great ball from Son, but it's the pace of Lucas Moura. Nips in front of the defender.
Oh, is it a penalty? No, it's not. It's a good tackle.
What a tackle
I have to say, that is not a penalty. That is a fantastic tackle from Huddersfield. Oh! Heung-min Son, behind the lines. Lucas Moura in. It's a great tackle. It's still 2-0 at Huddersfield. Joel, back to you. How's Lacazette's chance?
Oh, man, Lacazette's chance. It looked like he headed it wide. It wasn't even on target. Great ball chipped in from Aubameyang. Them two combining very well. To answer your question earlier on, Temps, yes, they are the two best combination attackers in the league. And you know what? Disappointingly, Lacazette doesn't score. Still 0-0. Watford still putting the pressure on us.
Lacazette has had all of the big chances, and he is at 7-1. Price boost with Sky Bet to score the first goal. He's had the best chance in that game. Don't forget, he must be 18+. Full terms and conditions apply. Let us know in the comment section if you agree with Joel's comment. Should Lacazette and Aubameyang both be starting?
Here we go.
What do you think's going to happen in that game? Another chance for Arsenal. Danger is cleared by Watford. Hammer, all going on. Wolves, Southampton.
Really? Because I'm watching the Manchester City game at the moment. They are absolutely peppering Brighton, having 2 shots there. One, David Silva had a glorious chance, and the goalkeeper has kept it out. Matty Ryan, I believe. And they're still sort of decamped on the edge of their box. Fulham, someone's hurt. Mitrovic, who normally does the hurting. He's currently down on the ground. Southampton, half the pitch in sunlight, so I can't really see what's going on down the right-hand side.
It is, isn't it?
And the Newcastle-Leicester game.
Oh, chance for Watford! No.
Get it out.
Joel, a bit of genius to Lennon, so what happened there?
Well, it looks like Leno came out to catch the ball, which Czech is a real specialist. He misses it, right? It bounces off and lands on a Watford player, and somehow we didn't concede.
Are we seeing the best and the worst there from Leno? Is that great?
Yeah, I reckon you're right there. I reckon, that's probably what you were talking about Leverkusen, isn't it?
Watford having some chances here, and there's another price boost, should I say, on your screen right now. Deeney to score the first goal, 14-1. He likes a goal against Arsenal. That is a price boost with Sky Bet. He must be 18+. Deeney has a shot.
Watford are
It goes over the bar.
Look at this replay of the penalty, boys. Absolutely terrible. No, you've missed it.
Here it is, Hamill.
Here we go again.
Is that it?
No, I don't think that's it.
That's just Sigurdsson lining up for something else. Matty Ryan, Matt Ritchie taking the corner there for Newcastle. That's about as exciting as it gets in that game at current. We've got Cenk Tosun coming on for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Absolute scenes.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Hamill, for that substitution. Everton blowing a big opportunity. Let's talk Huddersfield. Spurs haven't spoken about this. Huddersfield, Darren, really struggling. Just looking at joint lowest scorers in English football with Cardiff, currently on the worst run without a Premier League win ever. Not won any of their 7 games in all competitions. Joint worst defence in the Premier League with Cardiff. Joint lowest scorers in the Premier League last season. Had just 8 scorers in the Premier League last season. Fewest in the Premier League. Do you fear for Huddersfield this season?
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head, because I think it's going to continue again today, because Spurs at the moment are peppering the life out of
Huddersfield. Yeah, it's in all Spurs, second half.
I mean, the first half Huddersfield came out, but the second half Spurs have come out with real authorities. Now there's another free kick here to Spurs in the dangerous area.
Lucas Moura seems like he's been involved in a lot of the play this second half.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Harry Kane's had quite a relaxed afternoon, to be fair. He's got the Sue, but second half he's managed to just sit there, and he's had Son and Lucas Moura running all over the place, creating chances after chance after chance. So I don't think it's going to be before long for one of them to get on the act.
Yeah. Hello.
Chance Hammer, one of your games?
Well, clear.
Goal!
Goal in the Everton game! Sigurdsson making up for his terrible penalty with a very cultured, steered finish.
Great goal.
From the edge of the area. Good run there by the right back, cutting that in. Good block, actually, from the Newcastle defender, but Sigurdsson steers home. And Everton deserve that. They've come out second half, all guns blazing. No doubt Marco Silva said, listen, lads, people out there are comparing me to Steve Keane. We need to put this right. And Darren spat his water out. Here we go. Let's have a look at the build-up play. Right back.
Onside.
OK, lovely there. Lovely cutback, nice pace. Not a great height for the Everton attackers. And anyone else on the Everton side shanks that wide. Sigurdsson, lovely left foot, wraps around it. Could open that with a tin of left beans. Tin of left beans? Could open that left foot with a tin of beans is what I meant. Back to you,
left beans.
Smithy.
Well done, Hamill. A big 10 minutes for Sigurdsson there. Miss absolute shocking penalty, but a lovely finish, to be fair. And, Joel, there's a substitution in the Arsenal game, it looks like.
My guy, Alex Iwobi, is coming on to spice things on Nigerian style. I'll tell you what, he's been doing excellent so far this season. Definitely one of the players that's improved under Unai Emery. And you know what? His pace will definitely trouble Watford.
And an injury as well, too.
Unfortunately, Capoue, former Tottenham player, seems to be down. And you know what? Because of that, I'm not upset one bit. Get him off. Get him off.
I'm sure he's not getting a lot of love from the Arsenal fans, I imagine, Joel.
He's had a great start to the season.
Yeah, he has. He's a good player.
Yeah, interesting. He had a very eventful game midweek against Spurs in the Carabao Cup. Scored 92nd minute equaliser and then missed a penalty. So all in the space of about 5 minutes. Very eventful game. But he's going on. Looks like he's going off injured. Dangerous free kick here, Darren, for Huddersfield.
Yeah,
Eric Dyer gave the.
Because the foul away, yeah.
Oh, it's a nice position, this, for Huddersfield.
It's a bit far out for me, to be fair.
And former Spurs man, Alex Pritchard, stepping over it.
I feel like there's a lot of Spurs formers all over the gap.
Yeah, right.
Isn't there?
It looks like he wants to strike this as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see Moy take this. I think he's got a better double. What's going on there?
Oh, a bit of afters in the wall. Player's getting shoved to the ground there. Referee is delaying it.
That is one big wall, by the way.
It is a big wall, isn't it?
Spurs, boys, what's happened to Davinson Sanchez this season? Because last season he looked like an world-class acquisition, and this season has been a bit shaky, hasn't it?
Well, it goes back to what we were saying earlier about Poch's chopped and changed defence, sometimes going with the 2, sometimes going with the 3, and he's not always played. Huddersfield free kick, straight at the wall.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That big wall, yeah.
I agree with that. Sanchez, he's not getting enough game time to show his best form. When he was at... Because where'd they get him from?
Ajax.
Ajax, he was outrageous at
If in doubt, just say Ajax and then he Spurs signing.
He was...
amazing last season for Ajax. Played in the Europa League final, I believe, against United the year they won it, and was fantastic, but... Yeah, another chance for Arsenal. Joel, it's all going on. Despite the fact there hasn't been a goal, there's been a lot of chances in your game.
I was telling Chris that. Chris looked at me and he was like, he wasn't sure if this was the game to watch. I said, trust me, mate. If you want a game with no goals, this is the one. But it's very exciting. It really
is. Action draw.
Yeah, it's end-to-end stuff. And look, someone's getting booked as we speak. Oh, my gosh, Mustafi.
Oh, he looks gutted with this booking, doesn't he?
He's not happy. Well, at least he's showing passion, you know. But it's a bit dangerous because then, of course, you know, he can't be doing any of those wild tackles that he does, which sometimes do help.
It won't be still not on.
He's still not on yet. That's what I'm saying. There's too much action going on, mate. Hold on.
Has he been good this season, Iwobi?
He's been really good. Yeah, he's been really, really good. Like attacking-wise, you can. I feel like his game's just improved. It looks like.
And he's Aaron Ramsey is coming off, and he's clapping, applauding the fans. Interesting body language from Ramsey. It doesn't look like he's happy to be coming off.
Yeah, not at all.
He's holding his head in his hands, clapping again. He's applauding the fans quite a lot. You usually see this when players are sort of on their way out.
Yeah.
Is he on his way out?
He's going to have a couple months of clapping then, isn't he?
Every weekend.
Goal for Manchester City, lads. Sergio Aguero nipping in there at the back post. And Manchester City were just warming up Gabriel Jesus. I wonder if that was for Aguero, so we'll see how that materialises. I don't know if he came on as we were talking about Arsenal, but let me describe this goal for you when it comes on the screen. Murphy actually coming on there for Newcastle, chopping and changing in other games. I believe, is that...
Here it comes.
Well, let's go back to the City-Brighton game then. OK, nice tidy build-up play from City in the middle. Is that Sergio Aguero starting and ending this? Lovely bit of individual skill there. Spreads it out wide, pull back. Oh, easy. Manchester City in a nutshell. The star players controlling things from deep. Little 1-2 with Raheem Sterling. So a goal and an assist there. Sterling with his trademark
it's a lovely finish.
And there we go. They make football look very simple sometimes, don't they, Manchester City? Yeah. So if only, you know, everyone could adopt that tact in the other games where it's still, particularly Wolves versus Southampton, where it's still 0-0.
There's a few assists for Sterling in it this season.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And Jordan Pickford there, keeping out a decent opportunity, getting some kudos from his team.
Chance for Leicester get free kick in the Leicester game, is that, Hamill?
Come on, Jimbo Madison. He's we're on first name terms. No, we're not. He's scored a couple for Norwich last season, and he's not going to score like that, is he? Because that was straight in the twig and giggleberries there in the wall. So
Aguero's just been subbed as well.
Straight after his goal.
Yes, straight after his goal.
Yeah, he keeps his goals to minute ratio nice and high.
How would you actually just score?
Just score.
Has that ever happened to you?
Has that happened to me? No, but it's happened to me on 1-2. I've had 2 before.
Wow.
Scored, walking back, right, must be just coming. Look over to the side.
How do you react when the gaffer does that? Wow. Aguero, first goal in 5 games at Cardiff, his 300th appearance for the club. Obviously, Man City's all-time record score with 205 goals. Scored 6 goals in 8 appearances this season, including his Premier League hat-trick against Huddersfield, who currently trailed 2-0 at home to Spurs. Spurs on the attack, Darren. Harry Kane, very far out wide, isn't he? Dropping into those positions,
it's turned into a bit of a not-nothing game, but, like, both teams are, like, no team's really... Like Huddersfield are huffing and puffing, but not really creating anything of any note. And Tottenham are just kind of looking to catch him on the counter-attack.
Do you think Poch will look to bring Harry Kane off soon, bearing in mind Spurs are 2-0 up and they've got Barcelona at home in a massive game now?
I'd hope so, because you don't need him... you don't need him burning out. I mean, I think he's tired as it is. He's played a lot of football, and you need to be able to get him his rest when you can get it. Like, so if this opportunity is now, maybe the next 5 minutes, with how long is left in the game, but maybe when you get to about 60, 65, get him off.
And that's a huge game for Spurs now, considering they lost in heartbreaking circumstances against Inter Milan. They've got to get something, really, haven't they?
They have, and as I said, they need to get something, but if they were to lose Harry Kane, like, if he was to pick up a little injury in this game, I don't know what they'd do after that. No. I have no idea.
Especially with the injuries to Lucas Moura. Moura's on the ball, running at pace. Will he go alone or will he slip teammate in? No, he's going alone. Oh, wrong decision.
And as you were saying, Aguero doesn't look very happy there, Darren, with being substituted as he sat on the bench, cutting a bit of a frustrated figure. Of course, like you were saying, thoroughbred goal scorer, I'm sure, coming off after an hour, not really something he's entirely useful. Actually, interesting, he said that he kind of cut short his season last season towards the end, didn't he, to have that operation on his, leg. OK, I mean, maybe that's just for Pep, all right? Yeah. You know, on Pep's bad side. But he said he's felt fitter than he has done this season in the previous 5, which is a frightening prospect for the rest of the top 4 clubs, isn't it? But Newcastle pressing well in the second half. Smithy, Murphy's adding a little bit of impetus, but apart from that, João Moutinho annoying Højbjerg in midfield for Wolves. But that's about it. Back to you.
Thanks very much. Right, let's go to social media. Temps.
How are we doing?
What are people saying in social corner?
It's about Ramsey. Obviously, Ramsey's reaction. Nathan wants to know, obviously, if Ramsey leaves, who can replace Ramsey? Who's the ideal replacement? Is he currently in the squad, or do we need to recruit someone else?
Good question, Nathan.
I'll probably say this is a chance for Unai to make his own team, so he will be going out there to get someone else. If you're asking me who, no idea, man, because I did not see Guendouzi come in. Oh, Watford have a chance! Great save by Leno. Oh, cleared out by Arsenal. It's been tight so far. You know what? I think we're really lucky to have not conceded. They've been all over us this half, even more so than the first half.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I've been quiet, man.
This is very quiet for Cheeky Sport Joel. You're worried, aren't you, Joel?
A little bit. You know?
I'm not worried.
I'm actually... Right now, I'll actually take a draw at the current moment.
Right, big price boost from Sky Bet. Troy Deeney to score first, 18-1 with Sky Bet. Joel has just said it is all Watford and Arsenal lucky to be 0-0. So Deeney to score first, 18-1. Price boost with Sky Bet. He likes the goal against Arsenal, don't forget. You have to be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply. Good question from Nathan, that Temps. Any others that you've got for us?
Yeah, this is a good question from Milo. Is there a legend of your rival club that you used to hate but you love now?
Niche.
It's very niche. A legend of a rival club that you used to hate, obviously, back when they played, but now they've retired, you love them. So someone like Thierry Henry?
Yeah, it's an obvious one, isn't it, Thierry Henry? Yeah.
Anyone got any?
It's
a very niche question.
Oh, we've got a goal in the Everton-Fulham game to get away from that question, and Cenk Tosun has bagged. He's come good. The Big Turk has put Everton ahead here. Pretty bread and butter stuff. I'm wondering who hung up that ball to the back post, because it was a lovely delivery. I'd like to see the replay any time soon. Riyad Mahrez warming up there for Manchester City.
Just come on.
1 goal now in 14 for Tosun, so he has been struggling of late. Here we go, lovely ball down the right-hand side, and that is number 11. Is that Richarlison? Sorry, very small on my screen, but either way, that is gorgeous delivery. It's this Theo. Number 11 is Theo Walcott, isn't it, of course? So getting back to, let's say, amongst the goals, contributing towards him at the very least, Theo. Lovely ball standing up there at the far post. Smithy, Everton have looked good for this lead in the first half. Time for Wolves to do the same.
Yeah, I'm glad I said that was my accumulated pick. I said Everton, Fulham. I debated about that for a while. I'm glad I went with an Everton win because they're 2-0 up. That is looking good. Alex Pritchard with a half chance there for Huddersfield. Interestingly, Harry Kane's still on the pitch and he is on for his 9th Premier League hat-trick. If he scores another goal, it will be his 9th Premier League career hat-trick. Only 3 players in Premier League history currently have more hat-tricks. Can you name them so far?
Alan Shearer.
Yes.
Sorry, what was the question?
Again,
Harry Kane is on for his 9th Premier League hat-trick today. Only 3 players in Premier League history have more hat-tricks.
Can
you name it?
Bit of
3 players. Alan Shearer is 1 from Darren Bent.
Dwight
York. Not Dwight York. Not Andy Cole.
He's covering them. Proper taskmaster. I love it.
I would have never put them there.
Alan Shearer is the record with 11.
Thierry?
Not Thierry. No. So Kane will be on 9 if he scores. There's 2 others on 9.
Sheringham.
Shearer's on 11. Not Sheringham. Let us know in the comment section.
Rooney currently playing.
Huh?
Rooney?
Not Rooney.
Rooney. Hat-tricks.
Hat-tricks.
Oh, Aguero.
Not Owen. Sorry, say again.
I said Aguero.
Sergio Aguero.
Shut your mouth,
one for Chris Hamill or Temps, I didn't hear. Sergio Aguero with 9. Alan Shearer with 11. There's one other player who scored 9 Premier League
goal in the Leicester game. We'll come back to that excellent piece of trivia after we revisit the Harry Maguire goal. Well, we're looking furious at something, not celebrating the goal, but Maguire... quite the opposite, looks absolutely delighted. I missed it. I'm wondering if it was a header, although he did score that fantastic P-roller the other week against Southampton. It was a header and an emphatic one out of that brilliant corner. He's lost his man, and Leicester are now looking extremely good for the result.
Would Peter Crouch randomly be?
Not Peter Crouch, no.
James Madison with you.
I'll get it. Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler, yes. There we go,
Darren. Yeah, that's definitely one.
So Harry Kane, incredibly looking to equal Aguero
subject, right?
Fowler.
Strikers in the Premier League.
But Alan Shearer with the most, with 11. So a good bit of trivia there. Loads of goals going in. Son had a chance for Spurs, Darren. A bit selfish, was it? For
a little bit, yeah, but I think at the moment in this game, that's been their problem. Lucas Moura and Son, they're both getting to really good areas, but they're shooting when they shouldn't shoot, they're not passing it, they're just looking for personal self-glory.
A couple of substitutions. Smithy Armstrong's come on for Southampton and Albrighton has come on for Leicester, so it remains 2-0 Everton Fulham, 2-0 in Newcastle versus Leicester, 1-0.
Oh, Watford, no! Oh, great tackle.
Thanks very much,
Every time we go over to you, Joel, it's Watford on the attack, mate. What's going on?
Rob holding us from an L. Oh, my gosh, great last-minute tackle.
Oh, Deeney!
Chop! Is that Mustafi got turned there?
Oh, that's a great tackle.
It's a great tackle.
And then look at the benches.
Sorry, Chris, to cut you off, but...
No, mate, please, feel free.
That would have been poor from me if I didn't say anything.
Joel, you're disappointed with how Arsenal started the second half, so would you make any changes?
Yeah, I like the look of Guendouzi. I don't really think Xhaka is doing a lot at the current moment. Besides that, you wouldn't change the strikers. And, yeah, you just want Arsenal to pick it up, really. That's all I can say, pick it up.
Do you prefer Torreira and Xhaka to Xhaka Guendouzi?
It's a real tough one because I haven't seen enough of Torreira and Xhaka to say that.
Okay.
I like the look of Guendouzi in general. If I could have Guendouzi and Torreira, that would be my first choice, but I think it's too soon for that at the current moment.
Yeah, I don't think Guendouzi's quite... his positioning and his sort of off the ball is a little bit naive. All right, I can't
That's my guy.
Let's wrap that topic up there.
Yes, okay. Moving
Joel's got guns out,
no, I like him. I think in the future...
He's going to be a baller.
Yeah, he's
going to be. Darren, Birmingham 2-2 against Ipswich. Ipswich letting a 2-goal lead slip. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, but to be fair, what's one interest between my team and obviously being ex-Villa.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if
it's dreadful results. We'll move on from that result.
Wait, what's happened?
2-2 Birmingham Ipswich. Ipswich letting a 2-goal lead slip.
0 wins this season for Ipswich.
Hello.
So bad.
Oh, Wolves nearly in there, but was that Raul Jimenez not the quickest?
Have Wolves been the better team in this one, Hamill?
I've been disappointed with Wolves in this game. Well, no, Raul Jimenez was putting that through for...
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Maybe Jota? Yeah, possibly Jota. Yeah, I mean, you expect them to... Such as has been their start, you expect them to manage a team like Southampton, who do seem a little bit ragged at the moment, but they've kind of muddied up the game, Southampton. Stuart Armstrong just had a good chance. And now Lucas Digne whipping in another ball in the Everton-Fulham game, like we saw first half, that caused all sorts of trouble. So let's stay with the Everton-Fulham game, and then back to you, chaps. Has anything happened in your games? Don't want to hog the limelight here. Lucas Digne. Eventually it is cleared by Fulham. Smithy, back to you.
Just looking at the Huddersfield Spurs game, it's sort of quiet and petered out a bit, isn't it, this game?
Yeah, it's turned to a nothing game.
Spurs are happy with the 2-0 and just sitting back a bit. It's very slow. They're taking their time with this throw-in.
I'd like honestly him to bring Harry Kane off now because it's turned to a nothing game, but for whatever reason he's still got him on there, and there's nothing really happening at the moment, to be fair, and the only risk you've got at the moment is injury.
Chance for Watford! That's a goal. That's got to be a goal.
Missed it! No! Big chance for Watford.
He's only just come
one-on-one with the keeper.
What is this?
Why is he smiling?
Why is he smiling?
That would piss
Joel, let's have a look at the replay of this one, because you were worried at this point.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, we're getting burnt for pace over here. We're lucky that you know, the quality isn't higher from Watford, because otherwise that's a
It's a one-on-one again, going for the dig, similar to Lacazette's in the first half.
And that's one of our weak parts, because you know what, you've got Mustafi and Holding at the back. Holding isn't the quickest.
No.
You see what I mean? So if you get round him, there's a chance, and I think oppositions will be looking at this in the future, thinking, boom, weakness over there.
Watford must be looking at this thinking they've had big chances. They should be ahead.
They've been better.
Are they going to rue some of these missed chances as they're on the attack again, getting a lot of joy? They're in once again. Watford in once again. Oh,
I'll tell you what though. Watford will be happy with a draw leaving here, because this is Arsenal at the end of the day. So right now they're overachieving. So
what do you mean, Champions League contenders Watford, mate? They'll be annoyed with this. All right.
Right, so let's round up the results. Earlier result was West Ham 3, Man United 1. Arsenal currently 0-0 at Watford. How that is 0-0, we don't know. There's been so many chances.
Goal for Wolves,
for both teams. There is a goal for Wolves.
We've had, he's just come on.
Talk us through this one.
The number 7, who I know absolutely zip about.
Caballero, is it?
Something along those lines. I have been just told it in my ear and I still can't repeat it. But I think Adama Traore with the assist. Caballero.
Yeah.
Adama Traore, of course, brought in for his searing pace, for his dribble numbers, the fact that no one can stop him when he's on song, and I think he's grabbed the assist there. So let's just wait for... Oh, there we go. Look at that, absolutely burning his man down the right-hand side. Cuts back in. He's already done this guy once. He sent it the wrong way twice. And nice build-up play. Nice. So he didn't get the assist in the end, but lovely build-up play in the box there from Wolves. That sort of intricate 5-10-yard passing, what we've come to expect from them. And Southampton now have to come out. So let's hope this becomes a more interesting game.
So, wrapping up the results, West Ham 3, Man United 1 was the result from earlier on. Arsenal, Watford is still 0-0. Everton lead Fulham 2-0. Gylfi Sigurdsson missing a penalty, then scoring 3 minutes later. Cenk Tosun with the second goal. Huddersfield 0, Spurs 2, Harry Kane with both. Man City lead Brighton 2-0. Raheem Sterling and Sergio Aguero, who got substituted a minute after scoring his second goal. Newcastle 0, Leicester 2, Jamie Vardy and Harry Maguire. And Wolves have just gone 1-0 up against Southampton. And there's another chance, Hamill.
Sorry, Southampton there, responding in full with Ryan Bertrand looking for his second goal in about 45 games. And it's a half-decent effort. Gone out for a corner, Smithy. Back to you, mate.
Interested in the Arsenal game, Watford game,
cheeky.
Joel.
That was cheeky.
Second yellow.
Troy Deeney just got away with it there, you know. Torreira cleared it. Stay on your feet, son. Torreira cleared it. And Deeney kind of got him with a little clip at the end. He left his foot a little bit there, and you know, Deeney very convincing to the referee, by the way. But I reckon that could have been a card.
Who's cheekier, you or Dave?
Really good question.
I think Dave probably more sporty at the current moment, and I'm probably a little cheeky. We'll go for that.
Right, so we can catch our breath. It's been It's been an incredible second half. Goals going in, yellow cards everywhere, and we're just having a chat about who is cheekier out of Cheeky Sport Joel or Cheeky Sport Dave.
That could be one of our best Twitter polls ever.
Can we put it out as a poll? How are the polls going on that note?
I haven't done another poll since.
Mate.
I completely forgot.
The Trippier Walker one, did that go out?
That didn't go out. Like I said, I haven't put a poll out since.
That's
terrible.
I'm really honest with you, though.
Yeah. It is honest. I'm not going to lie to you. It's 60% to Chris,
Yeah. Darren.
We've got a question, though.
Go on, let's have a question.
It's from our live chat. It's from Bo Tond, I think his name is. Who could be the perfect defender to fix Arsenal's defence? Ooh. I honestly don't know.
Surely Virgil van Dijk was the perfect defender when he was there.
That's unrealistic.
That guy, when he was... What a sign. Do you know what I mean? He has been class, man. I don't
know why Arsenal weren't in for him at the time.
70 million, mate. That's why.
That's why.
Yeah, simple.
Tough one, isn't it? Who's available now that you think...
I was saying earlier on, I'm a big Kurt Zuma fan. I think if he goes to the right club, Darren's like...
I used to think that. I used to really rate him, but I've seen him play for Chelsea a couple of times and mistake after mistake.
He hasn't played for Chelsea for 2 years.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe why.
He's very unlucky with injuries, wasn't he? Had a really bad injury.
Who's going to look good there? Do you know what I mean? So
Shaqiri looks all right, but I know what you mean.
Well, last season Stoke conceded 50 goals before Christmas, I think. They were the first team in Europe to concede 50, and when you part of that defence, chances of going to a big club probably not high.
Cameron has just killed Joel. He's just been head to his hand. He's got no stats to argue with that fact.
What a save there from the Southampton goalkeeper moments before Cedric panicking, putting it out for a corner. Raul Jimenez, who's been starved of goals this campaign, but brilliant in the build-up, almost getting on the score sheet. Lovely save that, Smithy.
From one save to another, the link.
It's
all going on! There's been a great save in that game. Gazzaniga just made a great save against Huddersfield. And there's a goal in the Arsenal game.
Come on!
Cheeky sport, Joe.
Mon frère!
Come
on!
on!
Come on!
Oh, mon Dieu!
Mr. Iwobi, do the damage. Like I said, get in there, boy. Love it. Love it.
Come on.
Love it.
Joel, instead of dancing, can you explain the goal to our viewers, please?
Oh, my gosh. Listen, mate, I almost missed it because Chris was getting at me, yeah? But all I saw, I'll talk you through it. All right, so it looks like Bellerin's played the ball. He's played it over to... Oh, there's Iwobi right there. Iwobi with a cross. Wow! Back heel, better than we all thought. Take that, Watford. Oh, man. You guys going to be pleased with that.
Kind of boring that missing the first half gets better. It gets better every time I watch it.
He's missed a lot of chances.
And you know what? Just in case you missed it, Aubameyang's been taken off for Danny Welbeck. So expect another goal from Danny.
For his legs.
Oh, no, that was a...
Just looking to whether the last contact was Lacazette or an own goal.
Oh, really?
Up to this live stream, it was a back heel.
Oh, man.
We think it's Lacazette. Here's this replay will sum it up. Iwobi.
That's not it's an own goal.
I just say, Cheeky Sport Joel has picked it up.
Yes!
Yeah,
you forced a mistake.
One of Lacazette's goals of the season, he said, it was an own goal. Darren, you called that as well.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was an OG, but...
Proper strike it.
He has been given, officially it's been given.
Do you know why? Because he's missed that many chances as well. When that went in, he was jumping.
Oh, is that why he didn't really celebrate? Yeah.
Officially been given as a Craig Cathcart own goal.
Look at the size of that spider.
There is a massive spider in the studio right now, by the way.
We have another guest in the studio. And
it's a huge spider in the studio.
Oh, man.
We'll try and get his comments in a little while. It's all going on. Chance for Spurs. Corner whipped in. Oh, cleared. Wanyama. Oh, good save.
Watford would have...
Watford.
Is anyone else trying to think of a spider-related pun here? Because I am, and I'm absolutely stuck for words.
Decore with a chance for Watford. Watford will be kicking themselves. They haven't scored one of their early chances. At 0-0. Arsenal now lead at home. 1-0 to Watford. Similar to the West Ham game, this.
Tell you what.
The cosh, but finding themselves 1-0 up. And we're 8 minutes left into the 82nd minute at the Emirates.
Ryan, is it Ryan Bennett?
Oh, man, sorry. Spill the water. Spill the water.
It's all good.
You know what,
It's like Bennett has 8 limbs today. Look at this save. Quality. Good work there from the Fulham goalkeeper. What were you going to say, Joe? Back to
you know what? Is it too soon to talk about potential title challenges for Arsenal? I'm just saying.
Yes.
Barring...
You were going to take the draw tendency. You're pathetic, mate.
Yeah.
Right, classic
Make up your mind, Joel.
Arsenal again on the attack.
No!
Hey, Miss it. Oh, my gosh. Get in there, boys. Was that one?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lie.
John, was it definitely Mesut Ozil before you said
It was Ozil.
Mesut looks like a don with the captain's arm.
Okay, because he was celebrating extra hard that time, so I wasn't sure.
Big 4 minutes for Arsenal, Joel. Under pressure.
Like I said, it was always going to be an Arsenal win. We were just soaking up the pressure, then bam, counter-attack.
Here it is.
This is a great goal.
Look, the boys are playing with confidence.
What a ball this is from
Lacazette. Iwobi.
He wasn't going to miss that, was he?
Gosh.
Lacazette down the right, whips it in.
Look at that. Danny Welbeck wins the ball in the middle, don't forget. Iwobi plays it.
Please tell me what Cathcart's doing.
That's lovely, man.
It's been a bad 5 minutes for Cathcart, hasn't it?
Where is he?
Wolves! Another goal for Wolves!
Chris Hamilton goes flying in. Molyneux.
Fernandinho very fortunate to get away with the handball in the Man City game, and then Wolves go down the other end, make sure of the result. 2-0 up now. Feeling for Southampton's goalkeeper, not a whole lot of protection there. He pretty much had jurisdiction of the box. Who's wrapped it away? Let's wait for the replay. Moutinho celebrating there. Did he feature in? Down that right-hand side again, Wolves have found a lot of joy down Southampton's right-hand side, much like Adama Traore for that first goal. Let's just take a look at it now. So, not much of a challenge there.
Very easy for them down that right.
Yeah, wormed his way into the box, pretty easy. And in a massive patch of sunlight, which is really unhelpful for me. Might as well have 0 names on the back, but forget about it. Wolves, the orange machine goes rolling on the Espirito Santos.
Smithy, how's our Aka doing? Is that 100%?
I was going to say, our Aka is not doing badly at all. We had a Spurs win.
Boys.
Spurs are winning.
Harry Kane.
We can have a look at the ACCA. Cheeky Sport Joel said Arsenal to win. Arsenal are winning. I said Everton will win. Everton are winning. Darren said Spurs would win. Spurs are winning. I said Man City would win. Man City are winning. Chris said away win. Leicester, they are winning.
Come on!
Said Wolves.
Come on!
Go on, Joel. Give it a come on. Guys, at the minute. Come on! Louder, Joel. Come on! I believe I'm right in saying that all of the games are winning by 2-goal margins. So
easy street.
We are on for the first ever Football Social accumulator win. Let us know in the comment section if you've had any accumulators that are coming in. But we are on for a 6-fold accumulator.
Seminal scenes, iconic.
That's a beauty.
You can come back, Joel, mate.
I can't believe this.
We've got to have time to catch our breath now that this. I'm looking at all the games. There seems to be quiet moments in the games.
It was Johnny Otto, who's on loan from Atletico Madrid, who scored the goal, and weirdly they bought him and loaned him out immediately from another side in La Liga. So
where are Wolves now in the league?
Where are Wolves? I mean, they must be
top 8.
Well, Bournemouth were 8th, and they've what, won 2, drew 1, lost 1 before this. So there must be in and around Bournemouth. I've called it. They're 8th.
Yeah,
get in there. That's been clarified there by Phil.
Incredible start to the season for Wolves. Phil Foden is on for Man City as well.
Good.
Do we have time? Looking at the games, there seems to be a quiet moment. Temps, Social Corner, have you got another question for us in this quiet patch of football?
I've been so distracted I actually haven't got a question, but I'll quickly find you one now. Everyone's talking about Hazard. Best player in the Premier League? Yes or no?
100%.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say as well.
I think he's been the best player for a few years, but consistency killed him.
You think better than a fit De Bruyne?
Yeah.
Better than an on-form.
It's a tight one between those two. For me, it's those two.
Or Salah.
Yeah, we're missing out.
Salah had an amazing season last season.
Oh, you were digging out people for saying that about Harry Kane earlier.
No, but I made the point. He's backed it up. Golden boot, golden boot, golden boot.
Okay. I'm on to you, Darren.
Chris digging again.
Oh, Charles
Chris is shot, you know. Chris is shot.
I don't think there's a player that's been better than Hazard this season. There's no player that's been better than Hazard this season.
At the start of the season, it's been obscene.
It's been incredible for him.
And Sarri's the perfect manager for him. Imagine being an attacking player like that, playing under Conte, playing under Mourinho for the last 4 or 5 years. I know, just thinking, this guy's going to give me licence to get forward. I think when he was managing Napoli, Lorenzo Insigne is sort of playing this similar position to Eden Hazard. Had 177 shots last season. Wow. Hazard had 70. Imagine if Hazard's going to get... If he can generate those sort of numbers, he could have a 40-goal season, couldn't he?
So is that what it is? It's the fact that his manager's giving him more... I thought it was more to do... You could be right, but I just thought he's just found his consistency. Because, you know, if you look at him from the World Cup now, you know what I mean? He just looks like a different player.
Yeah, it's going to be helpful for Sarri that he's coming into the season on such good form and he's fit. But you've obviously did a fair amount of moving around. Did the different manager, like the styles and the ethoses, did that kind of facilitate better performances from you straight away? Did you find that, oh, look, I'm in a side that's generating more
I mean, when I went to Villa, I remember Gerard Houllier saying to me, like, I'd played for managers before that were like, if the right back gets it, make sure you're that side so you can put it down the channel. And I remember one of my first sessions, I think Luke Young had the ball and he put it down there, ran out there, and Gerard Houllier stopped the session and was like why are you running out there? I was like, oh, because obviously I need to give the right back an angle, like he had no pass on. He went, well, listen, I didn't buy you to run out there. I bought you to stay in the box, score goals, like, not to run out there.
Okay. So and that's just a different approach from different managers.
Different managers, like, obviously, if your left back scored it, you need to get over there and help him out. But he was just like, no, I don't care. There's another 10 other players on the pitch. Let him pass to them. But you don't run out there. I didn't buy you to run out there. I bought you to score the goals.
Your most prolific season was at Sunderland, right? 24?
25, yeah.
24 in the league, was it? 24? Yeah. So how did that come about? What sort of things came together that enabled that to get that level of performance from you?
We had a good side, to be fair. It's a weird one because it's one of them seasons where you just feel like everything you're going to hit goes in, and obviously I got off to a really good start. I think I had 5 in my first 5, but it was... Or 7 in 7, but like I'd scored in 5 consecutive games or something. So that always helps. But also as well, it's a weird thing to say, but when you play up there... When you play up there, it's crazy because, like... You're like heroes up there, do you know what I mean? Like, in Sunderland, Newcastle, they really like, adore their strikers. So when you're flying and doing really well, like...
It's walking on air.
It's like walking on air. Like, it's like you go out to the stadium and it's like... If you look at Defoe the last few seasons at Sunderland, it's like you're walking on air. Like, you go out there and they're singing your name. You can't go anywhere up there. They want to talk to you about football. You're like, you're a hero. And every time you get out on the pitch, you think, well, I'm going to score today. I'm definitely getting one today.
She's so pumped.
Wow.
So it's honestly it's such
it's
a
the
strange
same.
thing.
Danny Welbeck.
Welbeck went up there, did well. Defoe went. Andy Carroll was doing well up there.
What's his name? Ghanaian.
Asamoah Gyan did well up there.
He was doing well up there. Wow.
Sissoko was killing it.
Man.
It's just strikers like Demba Ba up there, Remy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason up there, it's like they just love their strikers up there. Obviously, the biggest is obviously
make it in London.
Alan Shearer. Do you know what I mean? He's the. But they love it up
Bringing
there.
a bit of glitz and glamour to the northeast.
They've had Les Ferdinand up there, Andy Cole.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So they just love their strikers.
Yeah, it's true. Wow. Chance for half chance for Watford, who are struggling now 2-0 down at the Emirates. Cheeky Sport Joel is a much happier man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm much more relaxed at the moment. I'm really, really honest with you, because I think it's at that time where Watford, they looked tired. They were very convinced. They looked like they had a little, little spark on them earlier on. Now they're just jogging to us.
Sorry, Joe.
Look, Arsenal are playing the ball to each other. Look. You would think it's the end of the match.
Just wasting a bit of time now.
This is a joke. Look at this.
Down.
Well done, boys.
They're terrible, Southampton, aren't they?
They're really not good, mate. I've dug Mark Hughes out on this series before. I just think he is extremely fortunate to get that job, and I feel like Southampton have regressed as a club slightly from going from the Pochettinos, even Koeman. They played great football under him. I mean, I can't really think of who else after Nigel Adkin. There's a couple of others, but attack-minded managers, people with a strong ethos, and I think that Hughes is a bit of a pragmatist. The job he did at Stoke did that really, facilitate a move to someone like Southampton, sign him on a 3-year deal, and they look no better than they did under, was it Pellegrino?
Yeah.
It wasn't Pellegrini, was it? It's Pellegrino, who arrived from a Spanish club, which escapes me now, but I don't know how you feel. Have you spotted any sort of like chinks in their armour? Or obviously the goal scoring is an issue, right?
It's an issue as well. I think if he could stay fit, Charlie Austin, I think he'd get a fair few goals, but for whatever reason they could never seem to keep him on the pitch. But at the moment they just look all over the place. At the back, is that another goal?
No, it's full-time.
Goal at Everton.
There's a third goal at Everton, but with full-time scenes at Man City. Man City winning 2-0 against Brighton. Scenes at Everton, Hamill.
Yeah, let's wait for this replay then, because it looks like Sigurdsson has been at the epicentre of a goal. Don't know whether he grabbed the goal or the assist was watching the Wolves versus Southampton game. Not sure why, given the previous 80 minutes of turgid football. Right. It's going to come soon. I'm pretty sure Sigurdsson's shaking every man's hand in the stadium.
Here it goes. Here you go. Here's the replay.
So racing down the left-hand side, Everton not entirely sure where the Fulham right-back is. Obviously, might have struggled since Timothy Fosu-Mensah came off, because he's been excelling at right-back, hasn't he? And that left the goalkeeper for dead. Sigurdsson again. So there's Bernard waiting on the edge of... he's kind of used it. The defenders come across there, not give the keeper much chance, and Sigurdsson's second goal, Smithy.
And these are the scenes at Molineux. Wolves win again. 2-0 home win against Southampton. Cavallero and Johnny with the goals. 2-0 home win at Molineux. There's Adama Traore. Rapid, absolute pace shown from him in the goals. Interesting haircut as well.
It looks like a coral reef.
Yeah. And these are the scenes at Newcastle. Terrible start to the season for Newcastle. They badly needed a win. They didn't get it. They didn't even get a draw. They lost 2-0 at home at St James's to two English goal scorers, Jamie Vardy and Harry Maguire. Good win for Leicester as they win 2-0 at St James's. So those two matches have finished as we approach the final whistle in all the other 3 o'clock games. There is Harry Maguire there. Another good performance. And he's chipping in with goals this season, Harry Maguire, as well.
Schneiderlin coming on for Sigurdsson. Not entirely sure the thought process behind that. The game is beyond Fulham now. Just managing the last 4 or 5 minutes, I guess. Nothing else to report. I think the other 3 games are finished, right, Smith?
Yeah, there's the scenes there still at Newcastle. James Maddison, another good game from him. Jamie Vardy, you saw earlier on the goal-scoring sheet as well. He'll be disappointed to miss those 3 games through suspension, but he's back and scoring. Our 2 feature games are still going ahead. They are still 2-0 to Arsenal at home to Watford and 2-0 to Spurs away to Huddersfield. And there's been an incident in the Spurs game. Harry Kane is down.
I can't believe he's still on.
What has happened here, Darren? Because this is a worrying...
I think Huddersfield now are starting to get a bit frustrated. They're leaving their foot in now. That's 1 or 2 challenges they're putting, which has been a bit naughty.
OK.
I think Harry Kane's kind of rode it a little bit, like, playing a bit cute, but I can't understand why...
Poch doesn't look happy, does he?
No, but I don't know why he's still on. It's 2-0, the game's over, get him off.
We say that every week.
Yeah, get him off.
Poch does not look happy here at all. Harry Kane still on the field. There's only minutes away from this game. A strong challenge. This is the replay now.
Seen him
it's a strong tackle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not enough to...
Wincing over there.
Whenever Harry Kane goes down, any Spurs fan does get very worried. I think he's up. Harry Kane is up. Full-time whistle at Arsenal. Arsenal 2, Watford 0. Very good performance from Watford, but ultimately they go away with nothing. Craig Cathcart own goal in the 81st minute, followed by Mesut Ozil's goal. Lovely little cute finish from Mesut Ozil in the 83rd minute. Arsenal win 2-0 at home.
You know, I think it was a good game.
Good win, Joel, for you.
I thought it was a good game. I think the boys worked really hard. I think we did what we had to do. It's a game of 90 minutes, and the boys did a really good job. Yeah, so, yeah, good 3 points for the team.
Big 3 points for Arsenal, who started well. They lost their first 2 games. People start talking about crisis and all this. They've done well since, haven't they?
Take that crisis stuff all the way up there to Manchester, mate. You know what I mean?
Well, the minute it's extended to Newcastle, look at the scenes at full time. The Newcastle fans are not happy, bunnies are there, and the mediocrity under the Ashley reign continues. Leicester not enjoying the best start to a Premier League season. Hello, Fulham nearly scoring their best start.
We can see these scenes you're talking about, Chris.
Yeah.
These are the scenes at St James's Park. Mug. They look devastated. Newcastle, dreadful start to the season for Newcastle. Tottenham has finished as well. It's finished at the John Smith Stadium. Huddersfield Town 0, Spurs 2. Harry Kane from the penalty spot, and then Harry Kane previously with a header as well. So Spurs take all 3 points. Miserable start to the season for Huddersfield Town. David Wagner does not look happy at all. Similar scenes to what we saw at Newcastle there. Both Newcastle and Huddersfield badly needing to find a win. Cheeky spot, Joel, still cheering.
Love that.
There's Danny Rose applauding the travelling Spurs fans.
Nice
a good ground for Spurs. Yeah, it's great to see him back.
Fair bit of added time here, Smith, in the Everton game. And
Everton's still playing, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, both teams still going for it. So Mitrovic has had a snapshot. Everton trying to play it in down the right-hand side here. But if you're Jokanovic, I mean, Fulham have spent a lot of money, haven't they? And they've played some very positive stuff. But the ease with which Everton have carved out chances in this game will be worrying. And we're starting to see... I don't know, maybe Jokanovic is going to have to look to shore up away from home and not play with this kind of attacking positive system the entire time, because picking up a point in this game, very viable before the game. Everton not in great form, and it could, you know, help massively towards the end of the season. But, you know, fair play to them. It's kind of all guns blazing regardless of home away, regardless of level of opposition. So... consistent.
Yeah, interesting. We just see the scenes there at Huddersfield. Obviously, good win for Spurs, but Poch really wasn't happy there. I think it must be referring to the Harry Kane tackle that's got him upset.
Yeah, but listen, he's caused it by keeping him on there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they're the scenes now. Here's Poch embracing Harry Kane. But Harry Kane should have come off early for you, Dan.
Yeah, 100%. The game was won after the first half. 60, 70 minutes, get him off. There's no need to have him on there. So only Poch knows why he leaves him on there for so many minutes, to be fair.
We've been saying that for like most of these episodes, that he's looked tired, he's having less shots, which is worrying because last season he was averaging 5 or 6 a game. So as a striker, and you know, someone who's been around these sort of situations before, what's the best solution for Harry Kane? Is it to rest for a couple of weeks? Is it to rotate him? Is it to start Son?
You can't rotate him. You've got to play every week, but you very rarely get situations like this where Huddersfield, that you just said there, the lowest scorers in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not
haven't won at home.
Haven't won at home. Yeah. And you're 2-0 up after the first half. You can pretty see that Huddersfield ain't really going to score or cause any problems. Get half an hour. There's half an hour rest there. You know what I mean?
Saving his take the opportunity.
Just take the opportunity when you can, because obviously they've got a massive game on Tuesday or Wednesday when they play Barcelona. He's obviously going to play 90 minutes again.
And the full-time whistle's gone at Goodison Park. Everton 3, Fulham 0. Gylfi Sigurdsson going from villain to hero, missing a penalty in the 52nd minute, scoring just 4 minutes later. Cenk Tosun with the second, and Gylfi Sigurdsson again with the third. He'd be gutted he missed that pen on for a hat-trick. But Everton, doesn't matter for them, doesn't matter for the fans. They take all 3 points, very comfortable in the end, which means all of our games have finished, all 6 3 o'clocks. Guys, we can see how we did in the Football Social Accumulator. Joel said Arsenal would beat Watford. Congratulations, Joel. Arsenal 2, Watford 0.
Come on!
I said Everton would beat Fulham. Everton did 3-0. Thank you very much, Thames. Darren Bent, you said that Huddersfield would lose to Spurs. Spurs beat Huddersfield 2-0. I said that Man City would beat Brighton. They did 2-0. Hamill, you said away win. Great result calling that one, mate. Tough one to call that. Newcastle 0, Leicester 2. And Temps said home win. That game was 0-0 for a long time, but it was 2-0. Guys, give us a round of applause. Yeah, accumulators come in.
You're welcome.
The accumulator's coming. You could have got odds at 20 to 1 for that, and that is Football Social history. The first
even the accumulator
down there.
Where is that?
The first time a Football Social accumulator has come in. Even the spider is happy. I think we can have a look at the Premier League table as well. So this is the Premier League table live. Man City top, goal difference of 18. Worth pointing out that Liverpool and Chelsea both have a game in hand. Spurs now up to 4th. Equal on points with 15 with Arsenal. Watford down to 6th. Very tight at the top. The huge thing that jumps out there is Man United 10th. 9 points behind rivals Man City. Man United fans, let us know what you think about that. It's been a terrible start to the season for you guys. Huddersfield Town rock bottom, 2 points after 7 games. Worst goal difference in the league, -13. And what makes it worse is Cardiff above them have a game in hand. Newcastle as well, only 2 points from 7 played. So they both badly need a win.
Yeah, Aguero wasn't annoyed at all that he came off, by the way. I'm just seeing the replay for a second and third time. I got it, and he looks happy as Larry. Yeah, so I just got the wrong end of the stick. And you know what? You know, fair play.
There is a live Sky game as well tonight. Rotherham play Stoke from the New York City Stadium. New York Stadium, should I say. So exciting, there's so much going on. We can now cross live to Danny Higginbottom and David Craig. Craigie.
Yes, Smithy, welcome to Rotherham, where they take on Stoke City today. Rotherham are 11-4 to win this, 12-5 the draw, and it's 11-10 if you fancy Stoke City. Those odds with our friends, of course, at Sky Bet. Alongside me, my friend, today's co-commentator, Danny Higginbottom. Danny, this is a really interesting one. Rotherham will fancy this today, won't they?
Yeah, they will. You know, I think they've won 3 of their 4 home games. They'll make no apologies for the way that they play. You know, they'll get the ball forward, whether it be from set pieces, get the ball into the box, make it a second ball game. And I think the one thing is for Stoke is they're going to have to stand up and be counted. Defensively, there's been a lot of question marks over them so far this season.
It's interesting with Gary Rowett because when we saw him going to Birmingham and when we saw him to go into Derby, there was an immediate impact. He seems to have struggled to do that at Stoke. What do you put that down to?
I think it'll be a frustration. I think if you look at the defenders that they've got at the club, you would think that it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Experience, plays internationals. And so what he did in the summer, he brought in goal scorers, having no problem scoring goals, scored 2 on numerous occasions this season, but it's conceding goals. And I think that would be the really frustrating thing for Gary Rowett because he's got a lot of experience in that team and he'll be hoping that turns, because that is the major problem. Like I say, scoring goals isn't a problem, but keeping them out is a major problem.
We were all talking on the dinner bus a little bit earlier that for Stoke, coming to Rotherham would be like teams having to go to Stoke in the old days, wasn't it? It's not a nice place to come and play, is it?
No, it isn't. I think the one thing that Rotherham do, you know, it's a lovely little stadium. You know, I think it's fantastic. But what Rotherham do, they've come up to the Championship and they're not going to try and play the so-called beautiful game because that's not their strength. Their strength is to get in opposition faces. They're a fit team. They're a physical team. And so far, in particular at home, like I say, winning 3 out of 4, it's really worked for them. And any newly promoted team, what you want to do is make your home ground a real fortress, a difficult place to go where people don't want to go. And that's what they've done so far. And like I say, it's going to be a really tough game for Stoke here.
Danny, thank you very much indeed. Well, this game, I think, typifies the uncertainty of the Championship. Rotherham take on Stoke. Back to you and the boys in the studio, Smithy.
Cheers, Craigie. Now we can have a look at what is going on Sky Sports this weekend. Rotherham versus Stoke tonight. Very shortly, 5:15. That is on Sky Sports Football. Head over to that. Goals on Sunday. That is tomorrow with Robert Huth as the guest in the studio. 11 o'clock, Sky Sports Premier League. That is followed by Cardiff versus Burnley as the Super Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Sky Sports Premier League. And Monday Night Football is back. Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, 7 p.m. Sky Sports Premier League. Interestingly as well, in the Ryder Cup, Europe lead America 10-6. Going into the last day tomorrow. Guys, lots of goals, lots of action. Hamill, got to come to you first, covering the 4 games. Who are you most impressed with of all the games that you watched today?
I think Leicester's away victory at Newcastle was pretty comfortable in the end for them. Rarely saw them threaten, which we kind of maybe thought was going to be the way it panned out from the off. I mean, their biggest goal threat, Jose Perez, Joselu, not the most convincing at this level, I don't think. Everton, Fulham, I was surprised how comfortable it was for Everton, considering how suspect they've been defensively. But Fulham tried to play as they normally play, quite expansive, positive football. Everton just kind of picking them apart down the flanks. Gylfi Sigurdsson maybe the difference between the two sides. City, Brighton pretty much 10 men behind the ball at all times, so a bit of a struggle for them. And Wolves finally coming good in the last 20 minutes because Southampton, like I said, muddied the game up. It became a bit of a battle, particularly the first half, but the quality prevailed at the end. And, yeah, just a couple, like in a lot of the games, a couple little forays down the wing, and they were in eventually. So I think everyone deserved winners today that came out of the 3 points.
OK, thanks very much. Joel, one of our feature games, Arsenal-Watford. You said at half-time you thought Watford were the better team. We spoke to Robbie Lyle from AFTV. He said Watford were the better team. You said Arsenal started poorly in the second half, but ultimately 2-0. Good result in the end.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't a very good performance by Arsenal, if we want to be very honest with you. But, hey, you know, if you're going to win Premier League, sometimes you're going to have games when you don't play well. And they had a good, 6 minutes? And that made the complete difference. I mean, you can see this. And sometimes it's going to go down like that. So I'll take that all day long, because then it means that they can go back to the training ground, iron out the mistakes, and then we can do our job in Europe and, of course, against Fulham next week.
Good win for Arsenal. Darren, you're watching Huddersfield. Look at the replays now of this game. Huddersfield Spurs. We're just looking at Huddersfield. Did have chances, but in the end, the second half, it was quite a comfortable second half for Spurs, wasn't it?
Yeah,
once they got the goals.
It was really comfortable. I mean, Spurs were probably under pressure for the first 15 minutes, where Huddersfield did really attack them, got about them, didn't really create too many chances, really got about them, put the tackles in. Then obviously, great chance there where they hit the bar. It's not even a chance really, it's an unbelievable bit of technique, great volley, they hit the bar. But other than that, Spurs played in second gear. They got the 2 goals. Second half was a bit of a dead game. There was no chances really. I mean, Tottenham a couple of times attacked with Lucas Moura and Son. Maybe chose the wrong options, which they should have passed it, but they went for self-glory, which is fair enough for 2-0 up. And other than that, it was a very, very comfortable game for Spurs. So, yeah, they'll be pleased with this one, because it was a tricky, maybe a potential banana skin, but they've got over the tie, and now they've got a big one on Wednesday.
Yeah, massive game for Spurs on Wednesday. Good win for Tottenham in the end. Temp, some good questions from social. Do you have one final question for us to wrap it up?
I do. This one's from Peter. He says, which club need to do the most business in the January transfer window?
Ooh.
What do we think?
Ooh. Interesting. I think Newcastle, you know, I've looked at the way Newcastle played. Famously didn't do really much business in the summer, and I do worry for them a little bit. We keep saying they need to get their first win. They keep losing games. I do worry for Newcastle. And also, I just think, is Rafa going to be there long term? I can't see it. The ownership's up in the air. I'd say Newcastle very badly need to spend in January.
They need to keep Rafa, though. They have to keep Rafa.
Yeah,
there's not going to be a better manager.
They have to keep him, but there's been some bizarre signings at that club. I mean, bringing in Rondon and letting Dwight Gale go, I don't understand that. Their problem's been scoring goals. Dwight Gale, if you give him a run of games, he's shown he can score in the Premier League. Rondon's never really been prolific, so I don't understand where...
And Mitrovic, like Hamill said
Mitrovic as well, yeah. There's 2 good strikers there that would probably get him goals.
Yeah,
for sure.
So Newcastle for me. Any other clubs from you guys?
You know what? I think you're right. I have to copy what you said. I think Newcastle. It's not looking good, man. I think you just don't really know what's happening up there, and it's amazing when you look at their stadium. You look at the size of the club. You just think you guys should be challenging for Europe.
These need to bring in someone as well. Spurs.
You think?
Desperately.
Who do they need to bring in?
They need another centre forward. They just need a bit of strength and depth, because 1 to 11. Yeah, arguably they're as good as anyone in the league. Yeah, if they get 1 or 2 injuries,
I completely agree with that. Should have signed a central midfielder. I don't understand why Spurs didn't sign a central midfielder in the summer. Because as good as Harry Winks is, and as much as I like Moussa Dembele, can he be used over the course of a season? Frequently, no. His sort of legs are giving out. Harry Winks can be a little bit lightweight in games at times. It sort of makes up for it with his technique, But and Eric Dyer, I'm not really convinced by him at Tottenham. I think a decent utility player, but not a lot more for me. So maybe Spurs, Manchester United. It'd be interesting to see if they do anything.
Yeah, it will be, wouldn't it?
It'd be interesting to see if Jose is... That might give us a good indication whether Jose is going to stay on for the rest of the season or not. If they start to gear up, start to be linked with a lot of people. If he's open about his transfer policy, sort of in November, December time, that might give us a good indication whether he's going to last the course of the season, because they desperately need a centre back, despite signing, £1 billion on centre-backs in the last,
what feels like $1 billion
in the last 5 years,
It is a good question to end the chat. Great show. Our accumulator came in for the first time. Big thanks to our guest, Darren. Thank you for coming in. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, loved it.
Cheeky Sport Joel, always a pleasure.
Thank you. I'm just so happy.
Hamill, brilliant stuff. Thanks for joining us. Next week, brilliantly, we are back both days. Next Saturday and Sunday, we'll be back for the Football Social on Saturday for one of these, and we are back Sunday for a watch-along for Liverpool against Man City, one of the biggest games of the season. We will see you for those 2 shows next week. Thank you very much.